What's up? What it do? Welcome to K&M Witchery or Readings by K&M. That's me. For those of y'all who may not know, what's up? I am Kat Nicoletta Monroe, and this is your pick a card on how they view you and what they'd say to you if they could. I am taking into account those whom are in a relationship and or in separation, okay? So take the messages as they resonate to you and leave the rest for another soul fam member. Quick promo, if you're watching this on or before February 18th, 2024, there is a Valentine's special that I'm offering to you, my soul fam. Please use the code LOVE22 upon booking your intuitive reading, spiritual check-in, or mediumship session, as you will receive 22% off on any of my psychic services at this time. So take it while you can, you know? I mean, who doesn't want to save some euros? I know I definitely would. This is going to be one extensive reading, soul fam, as you could probably already tell with the times, okay? We are gonna go hella in depth. I have already pre-shuffled some cards. We're going to shuffle in some more, and then we're gonna clarify them, and then we're going to dive in various different decks in the extended. We're going to dive in some more of the 18 plus kind of a stuff, okay? So all of that rated R, what they would do to you if they could. We're going to dive into all of those secret fantasies about you. Again, whether you in a relationship or not. It's gonna get juicy. So I do hope to see y'all on Patreon. Join the VIP. The description box already holds the precise link that you need to access this extended. Although if you join, you will have access to any and all extendeds that I've posted across my channels and extra content to help y'all on your way when it comes to healing, clarity, and personal spiritual evolution. So if that rings your little bell in any form or fashion, click the link, join the soul fam, and yeah, I'll see you guys over there. All right. I think that's pretty much all I really got to cover. So let's dive right on in. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. You will know when a pile or piles are right for you when you just can't take your eyes off of them, or perhaps you're hearing the number being repeated in your head, or you simply know that behind this particular pile lies the answers that you are seeking today. So go with your gut on this one. However it is that you resonate with it, trust it. Check the timestamps down below for your particular pile or piles, and I'll see y'all on the other side. Pile number 1, what's up, what it do? Welcome to your reading. First off, we're going to dive into how they view you. So before we do though, I just want to give a shout out to my girl Tanya. She had gifted me with the Unfolding Path Tarot, and that is what we're going to start off with today. Excuse me, my throat chakra is a little mangled. And yeah, it's just such a beautiful deck. So I thank you so much, babe, for this. Honestly, oh, it's so beautiful. And like, this is what I mean. So let's flip this over, and yikes, we're starting this reading off with the 3 of Swords. Okay, I mean, is it just me, or like, does anybody else want this t-shirt? Okay. Next, we also have the 3 of Cups. Okay, as well as the 4 of Swords. All right, so channeling into how it is that they view you. Honestly, at this point in time of your reading, they may see you a little bit more kinda, I don't really necessarily even want to say brokenhearted, but like getting over a heartache. Perhaps there has something to do with like a third party or like a friendship that you had lost, okay? And there has been some sort of a loss. If y'all are in separations, remember, I'm taking into account both those whom are in a relationship and in separation. They could have very well cheated on you. And now you're at this point of like healing, like you're okay with it. I'm kind of hearing the question, like, is it over for those of y'all whom are in separation? So very interesting here. They do also really see you as a really beautiful companion. Okay, you do have these wonderful friendship qualities that they may really look for in a mate, and you also give them a peace of mind, but also there's some form of like this heartache, okay? So you really bring out these like emotions in this person. So if, for example, your person is more of like a avoidant attacher, okay, they may just be quite intimidated with the level of vulnerability that you bring out of them, right? So let's actually dive into some more. We're gonna shuffle in pile number one. How do they view pile number one? All right, pile number one. How does their person view my beautiful pile number one? I heard stop for now at least. Oh, we've got multiple cards on the table, so let's actually shove these over. The first pile is always a little bit of a mystery because I'm such a intuitive reader, but we have the Lover's card. I did hear I love you. Okay, so whether these are secret thoughts or if they have the privilege to tell you this every single day, there is still a lot of love in this relationship. So if you ever doubt that, well, here it is, at least in this reading, okay? Next, we have the Fool. I just heard, can we start over? So, this can literally mean like y'all are in separation and they would like a restart for you, kind of make up for previous mistakes and things like that. They really miss your friendship, and or if you are, of course, in a relationship right now with this individual, they want to take it to like, I don't even necessarily want to say like a new level, like, you know, say you're just dating right now and they want to take it into engagement, although that can be the case. We'll see as the cards kind of progress in, but this can very well be that like, you know, in the very beginnings, like the honeymoon phases and things like that, right? Like they may kind of want to take it back to that and just have a lot of fun with you, you know? It's like, just like unzip your pants, not just necessarily sexually, but like, I just mean like let go of your inhibitions and just be like really free, you know what I mean? And like, I don't know, there's something really beautiful about this as well. The Fool card also speaks on, again, an amplified friendship, all right? So they really do resonate deeply with the amount of companionship you're able to offer them, okay? So that's really beautiful. The other two cards on the table is the King of Swords as well as the Five of Wands. So this does show me that there is a little bit of, dare I say, sassiness. Okay, or if you are a man tuning in, you could just very well be stubborn. This is kind of giving me a little bit more of like a sarcastic kind of a vibe. I'm smiling as I'm saying this, okay? So they actually really like this about you. The Five of Wands typically is one of like arguments and things like that, but the way that it's coming out here right now with the Pentacle pentagram, I want to say, in the upright position with the King of Swords just shows me that like you have like this wit about you, like you can really say something quick, so you can easily put this person in their place, okay? And you have that type of personality that like shuts people down if you really need to. I just heard I'm the boss, okay? So like this person doesn't have the ability to walk all over you, which is a really good thing, I would personally say. Nevertheless, there's nothing that could really get past you. You know what I mean? You really see them. You have no problem stating your opinion, stating your claim, and overall really being there for someone, right? And could really give it to them as it is. With you, there's no tomfoolery. You know what I mean? Like what you see is what you get. And again, that really amplifies the amount of companionship and friendship that they correlate to you and this particular connection, because I mean, I don't know about y'all, but like, I want my friends to give it to me straight. Like, if I'm asking you, do I look good? Or like, am I messing up? Or like, whatever. I want you to be like, you know what? Like, you could do better. Or like, if let's say, I don't know, anywhere in life, someone needs to really hold you up to a better standard and reflect truth back onto me. I would personally, again, this is me from my biasness, but if you're tuning in and you're still here, you probably relate to this. Like, you want someone to be able to, again, hold you to a higher standard, to remind you of your worth and be like, yo, like, you can do better. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is like true friendship, as opposed to someone lying to you all the time because, well, either they want to see you less than, or they're just not really willing to give it to you straight and give it to you truthfully. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes even if the truth hurts, like the Five of Wands has the capability of, you can really trust that at least whatever it is that you say, you mean what you say. And I'm hearing with the best intention, okay? So like, even if sometimes it hurts, you can definitely be a really good support system for this person. Now, this Three of Swords is something that I'm definitely going to be clarifying even further on, because like sometimes perhaps maybe it took a little bit of getting used to your level of transparency and honesty, right? Like, that could be a really refreshing thing, and something that is more so rare, like Mr. Clean with hair. So yeah, let's finish this. Oh, this one really wants to come out. And there is the Knight of Cups. You are someone whom is really wonderfully capable of expressing your emotions with full honesty. You may not always know the right things to say or do, but like wearing your heart on your sleeve with the right types of people, because I do feel like there is definitely some guard about you, okay? Like, y'all aren't this open to absolutely everybody, but you have so much love to give, and you're happy to do that and express that within your friend group, within your community, and most particularly to this person. And so I'm just hearing, I would never take advantage of you. So again, going back to that initial statement where somebody in the past, whether this is friendships, because I'm kind of feeling this both ways, right? If they themselves did not put you into a third party, and third party doesn't necessarily always mean cheating. It could very well mean that they got very distracted by work, or they allowed their family and friends to get in the way of this relationship with particular types of opinions, or like, you know, just like naysays that they went towards, as opposed to sticking with you, you know? I am hearing, what's that song by Pussycat Dolls? Like, I must stick with you, you know? Something like that. But anyways, going back to this, you had undergone some form of trials and tribulations, and could have had a really big mistrust. And yet that level of hurt that you clearly had undergone, because this was the very first card that came out, this Three of Swords, right? You are able to find peace with, and like not at all take it out on other people. But it did perhaps make you a little bit harder as far as someone whom can allow people to get close to them, right? Like, you have your shield up, right? Like, your sword is drawn, and yet you're still open. You're still capable of love and expressing that love. Like, no matter how much hurt you have gone through, it didn't taint your heart. And this person sees that. And I think that's really wonderful and powerful and honestly admirable. When you can go through all of life's difficulties, and instead of it hardening you so much to the point of turning you into a toxic individual, you allowed it to teach you the types of lessons that you needed, but also learn the types of discernment that you need to really be able to gauge whether or not someone is good for you, but also still be open to expressing love and kindness. I just heard I'm not nice. Good, honestly, pile number one. Snaps to that. I absolutely freaking relate, because there's a big difference between being nice and being kind. And you are a kind soul that isn't always nice, meaning that you can give it to someone straight and be like, yo, you may not exactly like what it is that I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it straight anyways because you got to hear this because I love you and I care for you. Pile number 1, you can sit with me. I like this vibe. We're going to further clarify this now with my little pocket Island Time Wellness Love Oracle cards, okay? Let's actually get a clarifier here on this 3 of Swords. The Snake comes out. Competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder, the other woman. So this can be third party, like cheating, okay, for some of y'all, but if this doesn't necessarily apply, again, this just further clarifies that you didn't exactly have the right people in and around your circle. You know what I mean? I'm just hearing snake in the grass. Like, you didn't exactly really see it coming. Talking also is making itself known, so interested. Conversing more, awaited, message arrives, text, call, email, hoovering. Okay, so this could have been a verbal spout, if you will, or perhaps maybe, you know what is interesting? And without projecting, because like I literally just kind of went into my own personal memory box. When someone whom is supposed to be super close to you, like let's say a best friend, went behind your back and like messaged your person, or even if they're like an ex or something, and painted it as, oh, I was really just looking out for you, but really you kind of know that there was some form of like snaky, malicious intent or like selfish intent, jealousy. I literally just heard the phrase, well, he's so hot. Okay, well, like, fuck, if my man or whoever is, like, so hot, why the hell are you talking to them? Like, should you not have been happy for me and be like, yo, like, good catch? You know what I'm saying? And, like, obviously change the genders, however this applies. Like, it just seems as though, like, your boy went after your girl. You know what I mean? Whether this is an ex or not, something like that. If it's not having to do with that, because again, that was a slight projection on my part. I ain't even gonna fucking front, but some of y'all needed to hear it, okay? It could just very well be that like you basically heard some of your friends or like people in your circle really kind of talking smack about yourself or about your relationship and things like that. And really put you in a position of, distrust. Like you gauged a bunch of distrust in this person. You're just like, yo, like you don't actually have my back, and like I have the receipts to prove it. I'm just hearing, right? Like whether or not you are super intuitive, which honestly, I mean, if you're tuning into my energy, you definitely are, but that piece aside, honestly, so fam, it's like with or without the proof, you know, like, you know what this person's intention was, and it wasn't your best intention that they had in mind with whatever it is that they were doing, likely behind your backs. I'm hearing look over your shoulder, right? So someone did place you in some form of competition, or they were very jealous about you and like your direction in life and what it is that you're doing, who it is that you're talking to. So like, again, I'm stating that someone in one form or another got in between you and your relationship. And again, whether or not you're in communication with this particular person that you are gauging these messages from today, it don't matter. It's like, it's the principle, you know what I mean? Like, say you are in separation with this person, and whether or not you will get into a relationship with this person or even want to is besides the point. It's the simple fact that like you went behind my damn back, bro. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like one of those kind of things. At least that's the way that I am channeling into this. Let's get some more clarifiers here. I want to know, kind of get this, yeah, let's just get this clarifier here between the Three of Cups and your energy here. We have the Dragonfly. Okay, so be lighthearted, finding out things coming to light, adapt, change, heal. I'm laughing because like, y'all, you can't fucking make this shit up. You know what I mean? Oh, by the way, I do have a potty mouth, and I know YouTube doesn't really like it, and I know some people don't really like it, but like, yo, I've been swearing since I was a kid. It's just part of my nature. It's not one of those things that I'm just like, it's who I am and like I don't care, because I know that there's no like evolution in that. But it is a part of who I am, okay? When I'm very passionate about something, I tend to let out a few, you know, F-bombs. So if that really triggers you, I hope it doesn't, but like, yeah, anyways, I just may not be the type of reader or person for you, and that's okay too. Either way, we're gonna move on. The dragonfly comes out here. The dragonfly, by the way, is an incredibly intuitive being. It is one that also people underestimate, because when it comes to dragonflies, they're very feared amongst the insect community. Believe it or not, it's like the second that a dragonfly is in the area, all of the skeeters run away. So I would highly recommend to my hikers, this is just like a side note, if you do get yourself like a dragonfly clip or something and like put it on your shoes, put it on your hat or your hair, something like that, you'll actually find a lot of bugs will leave you alone. So, you know, just a little something there. But the very simple fact that, again, you found things out, whether this was intuitively, whether it came out to you, whether you got the receipts, you know. And so that allowed you to kind of sleep easier, because you weren't really necessarily in this position of like, am I crazy? Am I being gaslit right now? Like, you just know, and you were able to heal through it, because once you received the confirmations, however it is that they came for you, you were able to lay your head to rest properly and be like, you know what, I'm the good person, so I'm not going to make myself out to be someone that is, you know, desperate or like brokenhearted or although it may have obviously hurt you in one form or a fashion. Like, you know that you're the honest one in this connection, in this situation. So I mean, do I need to say more? You've adapted, you've healed, and you've never actually allowed this situation to change you cold-hearted. In fact, you remained lighthearted and full of love and in your truest nature, because you have this capability of doing that. So you're just like, yo, like, I bet y'all ain't fucking sleeping that well at night, and you've lost me, but like, look at me. Now I know that I have the right people in my circle. And, you know, this is just, I love this for pile number one. So I know that this isn't necessarily an easy scenario if this is, of course, resonating with y'all in any sort of way, but like, your person is also even recognizing this with you. Because again, this is how they view you. So you may not even agree with absolutely everything, but this is their perspective of you. This is their view of you. This is how they, well, I could just keep repeating different types of synonyms, aren't I? But like, they see your ability to really truly overcome, and it's very inspiring. You know what I mean? Like, this person is like in freaking awe of you, which I absolutely love. Clarifying now the lovers with the Four of Swords, moving into all of that. We have welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together. Perfect. Shudder. I personally cannot stand when people call me perfect, and I get that a lot because I am like the furthest thing from it. But nevertheless, to you or to them, you are perfect. You are their ideal. And it's probably, honestly, like your calming nature and your ability to overcome and heal and like still be this like beacon of light that they want to get together with you. They want to stay with you if y'all are in a relationship, right? Like, this is something that could really go the mile, and like, y'all have the lock and key. So I wouldn't honestly even be surprised if y'all already have a ring on it. Love it. We're gonna get one more card out on that top layer there. I just heard no. Okay, that's fine. So let's talk about the Fool here. So we have the cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. Okay, we're gonna get another one. Whoop. Oh man. So number one with the Fool. Okay, I am very clumsy and all over the place, clearly. They could honestly be thinking about the day that y'all met. You know, it's kind of like the impression that I'm getting. It's like they replay it over and over, how it is that you came into... Okay, sorry. Because like, I'm just, yeah, I gotta watch my step and everything very carefully. I've got so many cables and everything. Anyways, who cares? Very on repeat, your initial meeting, right? Because like the Fool is the very beginning. And they're replaying over and over again the second that they locked eyes with you and like your smile. Like this is an image that they have of you. Pile number one, if you are a female tuning in, they see you as someone who is so open and like lighthearted and almost childlike, you know, in like the absolute most beautiful ways though. Not that they see you as a child necessarily, but like you bring this like childlike spirit that makes them want to be free and open and like laugh with you. There's so much laughter and like smiling. Again, like I'm just smiling a lot. So like this person, when they think of you, this could also have been that y'all met when you were kids too, or like much younger in your years, right? But either way, it's these types of memories are like replaying over and over again in their head, and they're just so glad that they had this opportunity to meet you. And for some of y'all, of course, whom are in separation, this could be the only form of contact and connection that they have with you, and that's memories. So that's a little bit sad, but like, that's okay. It is what it is. We also have the boat here, clarifying the Fool with the King of Swords energy, receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, and closure issues. So love these clarifiers. Honestly, who even needs them? I'm just kidding. But like, going back to what it is that I said, right? Like you coming into their life offered them someone who will give it to them straight, and who's also able to move on if you ever need to. That could be a very intimidating energy for people whom are used to people sticking around and like enduring toxicity for the sake of like love or friendship or family, etc. But eventually along the spiritual journey, you notice that it doesn't freaking matter how long you've known somebody or if you have similar DNA to this particular individual. Like blood may be thicker than water, but principle and respect and compassion takes precedence. And so you have no problem cutting people out if you really need to, and starting again for your damn self. You know, like this person sees you as someone whom is unafraid to start new, to move on. And of course, ask what it is that you need and what it is that you want. You have no problem putting it out there. You could also really love water. Okay, so they may have some really nice visions of y'all in a boat. I'm on a boat. And yeah, there's something about like beaches and like, I'm just literally seeing two people holding hand in hand, just walking along the shore, whether this is a lake or a beach of sorts. This could just very well be a nice little memory that is coming up, okay? Because I'm kind of getting a little bit of multiple messages in here for y'all, but hopefully this resonates with y'all in any form or fashion. Let's clarify the King of Swords and this Five of Wands energy together. Let's merge it all together. What is the King of Swords and Five of Wands energy? I'm hearing keep on shuffling, so all right, no problem. We'll have a little bit of patience here. We have heartbroken and not enough that came out, okay? So frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues, and jealousy, alongside deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, mourning, all right? So could it all had broken your heart? By it, I just mean like past experiences and things like that. Yes. Could you have maybe felt as though you were not enough of receiving the level of respect, compassion, and friendship that you were able of giving? That could very well be that simple fact. And again, I reiterate, Soul Fam, that this Soul Fam that I'm tuning into, y'all are embracing your honesty and your vulnerability. Again, you have no problem wearing your heart on your sleeve if you need to, you know? And of course, the things that hardened you were past limiting beliefs or experiences that left you feeling less than and heartbroken within yourself. But you didn't harbor that. Instead, you allowed it to turn you into a person with much deeper discernment. And the person that you're channeling into today, or I'm channeling into for you, sees that within you, okay? Like, they know that you have overcome so freaking much. So yeah, maybe it did make you a little bit more sassy along the way. Maybe it did make you a little bit more closed off and like sarcastic and things like that. But like, despite it, they still see you as a really beautiful person, okay? So this is someone whom has really seen the amount of like hurt and betrayal that you had gone through in your life, whether this was with friends, whether this was with exes, whether this was by themselves, like, in doing it onto you. However it is that this is resonating with y'all pile number one, they get it, they know it, they see it, and they see you in like a full perspective. You know what I mean? I think pile one, when it comes down to it, this person's not under some sort of like a spell and an illusion. And like, as much as they see you as someone that's really perfect, they're also taking into account your scars, your lack of confidence sometimes, like your very essence and like humanness. They see you and they love you, and highly doubt that they would ever judge you for it. I did hear I'm sorry, so perhaps maybe once upon a time they did, and they added to these insecurities and heartbreaks, okay? Because I gotta put it out there as I'm feeling it, but nevertheless, they are really sorry for it. That's just kind of a message that is on repeat. Last but not least, let us clarify the Five of Wands to the Knight of Cups energy. I did hear two, so I will be taking out two cards whenever it is that they want to show up. We have addiction, codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, restraint. All right. And I did hear in reverse, so I'm going to do this. Very interesting. Before I go on, this card really wants to make itself known. Stabbed in the back, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking, attack. And I also heard in reverse. Very interesting. I am an intuitive reader, by the way, so if this triggers anybody, respectfully, tough shit, all right? Because that's the way that it's going to be anyways. Go find another reader if you want. There's plenty of us out there, friends. Okay, so kind of just in like the way that I said it too, right? Like, it's interesting. I take everything as a metaphor when I am channeling, and even me saying, well, this is how it is that I am, and like, I know why it is that I am this way, and I'm not going to change for someone just because they dislike me, right? Like, you didn't allow your heartbreak and the amount of times that you were stabbed in the back to just stain your heart. Like, your heart is still red. Like, it didn't turn you into like a black soul and like a heartless biatch or dude, whatever it is, okay? Like, you are still able to offer the love to people that you know are going to be more willing to accept it from you. Again, like, your level of discernment, Soul Fam, is admirable. Because where people would truly turn their anger into an obsession and addiction and restrain them and block them from experiencing and offering love, yours is in reverse. Like, you were capable of, in fact, moving forward from that. I honestly wouldn't even be surprised, Soul Fam, if like at one point in time y'all had more anxious attachments, or of course even like avoidant attachment styles. Perhaps maybe you're like me and it's a mixture of both, right? Love a disorganized attachment style where you give and then you're like, stay away from me. You know, I get it. But like, again, despite how it is that you were raised, the experiences that you've had growing up, you allowed it to blossom you into someone whom, despite the amount of people who took advantage of you and caused you pain and stabbed you in the back, you are still capable of love. You never allowed it to taint your soul. And your person sees this. I love that for you. Let us now dive in. I'm getting pulled to the Hermit Tarot. If y'all don't mind, I'm just going to keep all of these cards on and like just keep building on top of them. Yeah, that's going to be fine. I'm getting pulled to the Pocket Hermit Tarot. This is going to be like the first time I'm using this. And by the way, like, I have no idea which cards are associated with particular like tarot cards and stuff like that. Oh, I got a paper cut. Annoying. So whatever, I'm gonna just read it intuitively as I always do, just in case if y'all are familiar with this deck. But anyways, so what it is that they want to tell you, what they would want to say to you if they could, that's the portion of the reading that we're diving into now. And it is that I dream about you a lot. Too much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, if only you knew how often you danced around their unconscious mind. And it's almost like if you're even in a relationship with this person, like they don't want to tell you that they dream about you so much, just because like you may kind of laugh it off and be like, okay, like you may not really take it as like, I don't know, as like romantically as they would perhaps maybe want you to, but nevertheless, the word light comes out, okay? They honestly see you as a beacon of light. And it's really funny because right here in front of me, I'm getting pulled to the Work Your Light Tarot. And like, this is just shining out at me as I was speaking, right? Like we're not using this deck, but like, it's just, you know, it's kind of funny that I'm seeing like a double of this. And so fam, they genuinely, you light up their life. You bring smiles and laughter into their life. You lighten up their load. And like, even if you're in separation, right? Like say they have some form of access to your social media. And like nowadays, it doesn't matter how many times you have someone blocked, okay? If they really want to find you and see you, they can. I did also hear unblock me, by the way, so for anyone whom that applies, but nevertheless, whenever it is that they see you, even if it is only in their dreams, okay, because perhaps maybe they're blocked from everything else, you kind of take the weight off of their shoulders. You make them feel very happy and loved, and I just heard capable. Like you could be incredibly inspiring to this person, and could have very well also helped this person get out of really dark places, you know, especially because they've witnessed you capable of doing the same, right? The first half of this entire reading, Sofam, we've been talking about how much you never allowed any form of negativity change you. That's inspiring. This person is in awe. And so you motivate this person to want to be better. And not because you're intentionally wanting to change this person, because you're happy to walk away if you need to. You know what I mean? Like, you're not here to change anybody. You don't want anybody to change you. So, like, why would you put that onto another person? Y'all feel me? But nevertheless, pile number one, you do still inspire someone to want to do that. And I think that is incredibly powerful. And y'all better know the power that you hold, Sofam, because it's not only to this person that I'm feeling, like you are absolutely inspiring to many, many, many people that you come across, even those whom you bum off. I love how that happened. That was unintentional, but nevertheless, like anyone who's got to go, like even to those people, when they think back onto you, they're like, damn, like I can't even shake this person. Like they're just full of light. And like, yeah, sometimes, Sofam, it may feel like the greatest light that you can cast is of a small candle, but place a tiny tea light in a dark attic and it will light up the room. Okay? It may not be blasted in light, but you will still be able to see, you know? And so that's really admirable to this person. Like, damn, who are you, pal number one? Let me know in the comments down below. We have Wait, and I'm absolutely in love with you. Wait, this is a double whammy. Okay, especially because like getting together and perfect and stuff here comes out, and like wanting to start over. So this person may honestly be asking you to wait for them. Number 7 may have something to do with you. What's the 7th month? July? Am I right? Anyways, I'm absolutely in love with you. Like this may be, wait, I'm going to put a ring on it. Wait for me to heal, wait for us to come back together. I heard the song Wait For You by, I don't know, Baby, I Will Wait For You. Can't do. That's so funny because the way that I just sang this also came out in like a different reading once upon a time. Whoa, flashback. That was weird. Anyways, if y'all follow me or want to subscribe, hey, what's up? Y'all may want to check out one of my other readings and maybe you'll come across me saying that exact same thing the exact same way. I don't know which reading it is though, so like my bad. But nevertheless, they love you. They're absolutely in love with you. They see you, pile number one, all of you. And so there's no need to really question your worth with this person. There really isn't, because I mean, they dream about you. You're the light of their life, even if you could perceivably be in a bunch of darkness right now. However it is that this metaphor is like, you know, vibing with y'all. They love you entirely. Your rolls, your wrinkles, your stretch marks, your scars, okay? I'm seeing someone with like some like acne on their face. Like, they will still kiss you. Like, it doesn't matter if you're balding. Like, this person wants to grow old with you. Like, they in a way, like, they kind of want to see you in your ugly, if that makes any sense. Some of y'all just went, what? But, like, they don't care if you don't look your best. Like, oftentimes it's like the morning after that this person finds you the absolute most beautiful. Like, say y'all went to sleep with like your makeup on and you wake up like looking like a raccoon. You know what I mean? We've all been there. Always wash your face before bed though. It's always the healthiest thing you could do. But like, nevertheless, like, even if you hadn't, like, they will look at you like, damn, like your breath might be dank, but like, I just want to kiss you. Like, I'm so in love with you. But like a healthy kind of love too, okay? So that's really beautiful. It's like this person wants to embrace you for all of you and who it is that you are. And again, I just keep hearing like, I want to grow old with you. So that's really lovely. What else would this person want to say to you? They're waiting for you. Interesting. Okay, so if you are in a relationship with this person, okay, it may just honestly also take into consideration that like maybe you're still kind of experiencing some more of that hardship and they're willing to allow you to go through what it is that you got to go through and process, and that they are waiting for you. They will wait for you. It could also be, of course, if you are in separation, because I will repeat, I'm taking both into account, relationships and otherwise, that they want you and only you. It could very well have been that they had tried to find you in other people, and perhaps maybe you blocked them out in a form or a fashion, because again, I'm hearing unblock me. Okay, so fam, this person loves you. Oh boy, do they love you, and they are obsessed with your body, okay? So fam, stop doubting your beauty, okay? However it is that this may apply, male or female tuning in, they, them, I don't give a fuck, respectfully, you are beautiful. And they love you just the way that you are. Also 5 and 1 equal up to 6. So like there may be something about like June and July with y'all, if this is like a timing thing, because that's definitely coming out, or just 6s and 7s just may have something to do in relation to y'all. I'm too afraid to talk to you. Okay. So maybe they have like some form of, if you're in a relationship with this person, maybe they have some form of like a, I'm hearing, Usher, these are my confessions. Okay, do I think that they cheated on you? Honestly, no. But, like, your ability to, like, not allow BS in and around your life, they may be more intimidated to sometimes talk to you and tell you the truth, right? Just because they're afraid that you may see them differently. But I do also see that, like, that's kind of silly, because you would obviously be open and accepting of it. But again, this is the stuff that they would say to you if they only could. So we're going to clarify this a little bit more as we go on with a different deck. But nevertheless, if you are not in a relationship and this is in separation for the same reasons, they may be too afraid to approach you, because losing you again would be the biggest fucking heartache that they could possibly ever go through. Like, they would rather experience you from afar if it means they can still keep you in their life. Ha, that really resonated with so much, y'all. All right. What would they say to my pile number one if they could? Okay. We're going to dive into this more so in the extended, but oh boy, do they want to F-U-C-K-U, honey. Okay, the Ace of Wands coming out here is that they've got a fire for you, okay? So not only are they obsessed with your body and that they're incredibly in love with you, but they want to consume you. Tasty. All right, we're gonna keep this, of course, rated PG for now, but like, I definitely am welcoming y'all to the extended. The card that flew out is, I lie awake thinking about our future. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I mean, not only are they dreaming about you so much, which is probably another reason why they can't stop thinking about you, but like, again, they want to grow old with you. The message is on repeat here for y'all. They want you forever. Forever, ever, forever, ever. Hell yeah, forever. Okay, let's now dive into yet another deck. This is the Hidden Truth Oracle. I do want to clarify a little bit more here. Like, what are they afraid to tell you? What are they afraid to tell my pile number one? I heard shuffle. No problem. Let's do that. What do they want to tell pile number one? We need to let each other go. What? I heard no. To be honest, I think this is what they're afraid you would say to them. I just heard yup. So fam, be mindful of your words. I'm gonna just, yeah, okay. Be mindful of the impact that you truly have when it comes to how it is that you communicate with this person, okay? Because your ability to move on is terrifying to this person. And the last thing that they would honestly want to hear is that you're going to be more willing to walk away. The 5 is also associated with change. Okay, so like, whatever it is that they want to say. Now, obviously, this is a general YouTube reading. After all, if you want something more precise and concise, holla, knmwitchery.com. If you're seeing this before the 18th of February, 2024, I currently have a 22% off promo as a big thank you to y'all. So use love 22 on any and all of my psychic services. And perhaps we'll be able to talk into this a little bit more. But nevertheless, they fear you wanting to move away from them. Again, they love you. They want you. So like, don't ever let me go, you know? All right, what would they say to my soul fam if they only could? If they only could. Okay, some cards really want to talk, but I'm taking out flip cards. Thank you. Flip out whatever it is that you want to say. This card is one of them. All right, so what we have on the table right now is just being near you is intoxicating, okay? I mean, talk about the obsession. I regret lying to you. Okay, so they could have honestly messed you up in the past. They could have really fucked up this connection before, you know, and they regret it. They regret being the one that may have potentially hurt you, stabbed you in the back, put you in a third party connection of sorts. Again, whether this is cheating or not, they lied to you or withhold some form of a truth for you, okay? Because sometimes people like to gaslight and be like, I never lied to you. I just didn't tell you the full truth. That's the same fucking shit. You know what I mean? Oh my God, I feel like I'm literally having a conversation that y'all had. Interesting. Just being near you is intoxicating. I mean, this just adds to the overall obsession. I want to be more than friends. So if you are in a relationship with this person, obviously you want to be taking things to the next level. Perhaps maybe this does mean some form of like engagement or things like that. But to limit y'all as just friends, especially if you're in separation, or like say this is like a newer connection, you know what I mean? And like they're in the friend zone a little bit more because that's the only way that they could be close to you. That's what they're willing to do and accept if it means that they can be with you and near you in any form or fashion, because they're afraid. I'm going to put this in reverse here. Okay. They're afraid of you shutting them out and closing it out. So like any form of connection that they have with you, they want more of, but any form of connection that they have with you is enough if it means that they can still at least idealize you. You know what I mean? Like they may really fantasize about you a lot. They could, again, also replay the day that you said I do or yes to being in a relationship with you, or like just meeting you in general. Okay, this could be something that is just like constantly replaying for them. What would they say? Oh my, why? Why do things fall on the floor? My table's not big enough. I'm starting to understand our connection is what fell through. Okay, so yeah, I mean, ring-a-ding-ding, it's time for me to heal now. You inspire this person. What the heck can I say, okay? The type of connection that y'all may have could honestly be soulmate level. For a very tiny, minute feel of you, this could be a twin flame connection, okay? I am going to eventually, in the next couple of weeks actually, be having a video that is precisely diving into everything that I know about twin flames, because anyone who knows me or has been following me for quite some time, especially in like my past channels before I kind of privated everything and like restarted shit, y'all know that my take on twin flames is a lot less romanticized, okay? Because this type of connection is like, it is soul penetrating, okay? And yeah, so any hoosers, they're understanding the depth that you hold. And you have this capability of just through existing to change them, to want to be better. We're reiterating past messages that had already come through. I mean, damn, I'm just that good. But nevertheless, they're starting to understand who it is that you are to them. The impact that you hold not only onto themselves, but like onto absolutely everybody. You are their ideal, pile number one. They want you, they love you, and even if they can't have you, they're understanding that even in forms of separation, who it is that you are and or were to them. Shoo! 3 more? All right, that's fine. I know I messed up everything. All right, so this kind of came up over here. So for some of y'all to whom this may apply, yeah, perhaps they were the snake. Perhaps they did lie to you. I just heard I shouldn't have listened to them. Okay. I couldn't let you get close to me. I lost myself for a little while. So when it comes down to it, if this is like your present day relationship and you've noticed your person kind of take a step back, it's because they didn't want to taint your light and take that light away from you. Y'all know what I'm feeling? Like they didn't want to darken your beautiful light and your childlike glee, if you will. It wasn't intentional, is what I'm also sensing. And for a long time, perhaps they were lost, and yet you lit the way for them. And they know that whether or not like this, I messed everything up, had something to do with them doing it onto you, or just perhaps maybe in general, you kind of bring out this level of self-awareness in this person where this person's like, oh damn, like I messed up things in my past, and again, I want to be better. You bring that out for this person. So that is fan-freaking-tastic. Soul fam, I heard my snaps. which is silly because I also had another deck, but apparently we're not going to be diving into that with these pick-a-cards. So that's okay. Okay, I just work here and I listen to my guides and the intuition. So when they say snap, I say, okay, no problem. Pile number 1. How are you? Let me know, please, with a comment down below how it is that you resonated. Remember to please also like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And there's going to be many, many more readings for y'all to tune into, whether they are spiritual check-ins, which there are a plethora of already on this channel to help you on your way, or of course more pick-a-cards, which is something that I'm going to be diving into more and more and adding to that playlist. I hope y'all stick around, okay? And of course, check out the description box below to the link to the more rated R version, where there's going to be another pick-a-card, and we're going to get down and dirty of what this person would do to you. So if that's what you're interested in, I hope to see you there. If not, in another pile or in another video. Thanks so much for being here again, Soul Fam. Love ya. Peace. Hello, pile number 2. What's up? What it do? So excited y'all are here. We're going to start diving into how it is that they view you, as well as what they'd say to ya if they only could. Before we begin, I just want to shout out my girl Tanya for gifting me with this beautiful, beautiful deck, the Unfolding Path Tarot. This is what we're going to be playing with today. I've already pre-shuffled some cards. We're going to shuffle in some more. We're going to get everything that you need, okay? So let's dive right on in. Without further ado, we have the Page of Swords. Okay. Oh, we have the High Priestess. Love it. As well as the Five of Cups. Okay, now I am going to be taking into account those whom are in a relationship as well as in separation, okay? So only ever take these messages as, of course, they resonate with y'all personally. I'm just trying to give everybody an opportunity to get themselves a nice little cool reading, especially for in and around Valentine's Day. Okay, so, how they view you, pile number 2. This is giving me a really great transmutation energy. Okay, so a couple of ways that I am channeling this through. How they view you is someone whom is perhaps maybe really learning about more things about the occult, unlocking more of their intuition, turning their woes into wins, learning how to heal. Could very well be that y'all went through or are going through therapy, and they may view that or be aware of that in one form or a fashion. They could just literally be like, yo, like, you're so intuitive. And maybe to some of y'all, you may not even be fully aware of the power that they see within you. You're highly emotional too, which honestly comes like hand in hand when it comes to intuition, because our emotions derive from our unconscious mind, right? The 90% of our brain that we don't really have much control over, right? So they see that you are in tune with your emotions. I'm also hearing like you're not afraid to sit in your emotions. Like when you're not okay, you're okay to say, I'm not okay. And it's within that you're able to also transmute and get the types of information that you need out of it. I did also hear depressed. Okay, so some of y'all may be viewed by this particular person as someone who's really undergoing a lot of emotional and mental strain. Okay, of course, always just take these as applies. We're still going at it. The Page of Swords is really interesting, so I'm excited to eventually start clarifying more and more of these. But predominantly though too, I mean, when the High Priestess comes out, like, you're able to overcome anything. And the thing is about the High Priestess, right, is that she's able to see both the light as well as the darkness. You know what I mean? It's not like the Empress energy where she uses this energy to like create and is always so like humble and like happy and like forthright in her abundance and like things like that, right? Obviously no shade to Empress energy. I definitely love holding that Empress energy myself whenever it is that it is time to. But the High Priestess energy is one where I personally at least resonate with a lot more of, because not only can you see like the sweetness of life, but also know the bitterness that comes with it as well, and find a really beautiful equilibrium, right? Of both what is very difficult as well as what's really enlightening, right? The Page of Swords also allows you to constantly be learning something. So this person views you as someone who is like never limited as far as their ability to acquire more types of information. Like they see you as someone who is, no matter your stature, you can literally be the High Priestess and still be open to learning more. You know, like you're really humble in that regard. So that's something that is also really admirable, I personally would say. But let's dive into some more. Okay. Whoop. Excuse me. We have the Page of Cups. Oh my God, isn't he so cute? I love this deck so much. Look at the happiness. Koi fish may have something to do with you, or like goldfish. I'm so sorry. This card here, we have the Chariot. I just heard I won't back down. So like, you're always, 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 so fam, willing to go the extra mile and like, again, pursue new types of experiences, new forms of information and things like that. And I think that you honestly do so with like this really beautiful glee and passion in your heart. It's like, no matter your age, okay, you could be a wrinkly 90-year-old person and you will still have this beautiful like sparkle in your eye, willing to just be open to like the happiness of life, whilst again, even being open to experiencing some difficulties, right? Like we're going to clarify a lot of this here too. But no matter what, you're always willing to move forward and in a way kind of conquer your demons. I know this isn't the Strength card, but like the Strength card is often depicted by a woman befriending the lion, or I guess in this case, the Siberian tiger. And it's like, you never really quite tamed your demons, but you kept them on a leash, if you will. You know what I mean? It's like you've befriended aspects of yourself to the point that you allowed them to, in fact, carry you forward and move forward as the Chariot always does. Like if the Chariot came out in reverse, then we could have been like, okay, this person kind of sees you more stuck, stagnant, not really choosing to move forward. And yet here you are, always paving your way and really using that intuition. Okay, I'm really getting called to all of these stars over here. You may honestly be really into astrology as well, pile number 2. That doesn't obviously have to resonate with absolutely everybody, but it's like you may honestly just like follow your inner compass, or obviously astrology to push you on your way too. And you have this like magical foresight I'm seeing as well, that like even if what lies ahead and you're aware of the potential hurt that may come from it, you're still willing to grow from it, to learn from it, to pursue and move forward with it with a childlike glee. Love that. Love that. Ugh, card flew out. Okay, this came out, I am hearing in reverse. Okay, I did flip it as it was coming out here. By the way, I'm an intuitive reader, so if you don't like the way I do things, or if my potty mouth kind of triggers you, I'm so sorry. Please go somewhere else, because that is who I am, and tough shit. With love. Okay. The Five of Swords in reverse. Okay, let me get the full spectrum of, okay, the Ten of Swords. As well as the Sun card. The sun comes out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Okay, so Annie might have something to do with it, because apparently that little moment had to happen. All right, so fam, look. For one, the Five of Swords in reverse is telling me that no matter the hardship that you ever go through, the last thing that you would ever do is be spiteful towards other people, right? Like usually the Five of Swords is depicted by, and you see these two people kind of in the back, you know what I mean? Like hurting. Luna, please no barking. Luna! Anyways, there's always a metaphor when it comes to my reading. So my dog even barking, okay, kind of like disrupting the overall energy, at least for me, shows that like you personally never intend to do that to other people, but you've likely had other people do that onto you. Like you could have honestly had friends that have literally stabbed you in the back, you know, and kind of similar to pile number one. So I wouldn't honestly even be surprised if you came from there. I did hear no for some of y'all. So again, like go where it is that your intuition flows. But for those of y'all who hadn't, you had likely undergone some sort of tyranny, dare I say, of people really manipulating you, hurting you. Let's just say that you really had to learn things the hard way. You know, especially when it comes to people gaslighting you, mistreating you, lying to you. But the fact that this is in reverse, okay, shows me that you, soul fam, are never the type to actually do onto others like they had done onto you, because you know how much it hurts. Like, you know how much it hurts. Is this person cut in half? Damn. Wow. And so how your person views you, soul fam, is someone whom will always see the positive in people. You could very well honestly always be choosing to, I did hear foolishly, so hey, those are not my words. You don't have to agree with absolutely everything, but this is the way that the person perceives you, okay? So this is their opinion of you nonetheless. You can very naively always give people the benefit of the doubt, so much so that it will hurt you in the end. I did hear I told you so, okay? So perhaps maybe the person that you are channeling messages from today has warned you about particular types of experiences and losses that may incur, and likely they have. Yikes. I also heard I told you I wasn't good for you. That was a side note that won't relate to absolutely everyone or resonate, but yep. I'm just here to do my job, and that is deliver these messages. But nevertheless, you always shine, okay? The simple fact that the Sun card came out for y'all tomorrow is that you're always going to find the positives and the joys and look onto the following day with, again, like this glee of like, okay, things didn't work out today, and you have like this like hope, I want to say. A hope for a better world, a better overall experience that you can overcome. You, no matter the difficulties, and like there are some, okay, you utilize these difficulties as stepping stones to really truly kind of like take you on your way, okay? And well, this person sees that in you. Whether or not they agree with the way that you are, honestly doesn't really personally matter in my personal opinion. But that's also because if you choose to be more optimistic in life, like who's to say that that's necessarily a bad thing, especially if you are aware and are willing to still go through the tough stuff. I mean, that optimism and being able to stand in your light, if you will, despite the pain, is something that is incredibly inspirational, that I believe more people in this world ought to invite into their own perspectives and things like that, you know, because like, yeah, life can be incredibly hard sometimes. We all know that. And yet you still choose to see the positives, you know, and even if it hurts and it breaks your heart, you know that it's going to change you for the better. And you have gone through some really big difficulties. right? Like you've incurred a lot of loss, even with this type of positive mentality. And yet you would never do onto others the way that they had done onto you. Dare I say y'all have likely been emotionally, verbally abused, perhaps even physically to certain regards, in which case I extend my heart. It's never an easy thing to experience. There could have been perhaps maybe some narcissistic abuse that you had experienced as well, whether it be through families or relationships and things like that. Perhaps even the person that you're channeling into, if you're in separation from them, they could have been the one that had said, hey, I told you I wasn't good for you. I told you I was going to hurt you, and yet you still tried to see the light in me. I mean, this isn't exactly the most positive portion of the reading, but if you are in a relationship with this person, perhaps maybe they just simply don't want to see you in pain anymore and make such choices and decisions that hurt you, because as much as they love your light and your sunshine, it's like they really hate it when you're upset, and they want to protect that aspect of yourself that is always getting hurt in one form or a fashion. They may not fully understand you, okay? And I'm really feeling that too with like this heightened emotional and like intuitive state. They may not understand why it is that you choose to have faith or like see life the way that you do, but like, hey, that's just who you are, you know what I mean? And when dabbling in things like the unconscious realms, like intuition, like emotions, they're not really fully understood because these things are not logical. They're fragments and symbols and, well, unconscious ways of being, right? So like, I think that the person that you're channeling messages from today, they could perhaps be a lot more logical minded than they are emotional and even intuitive, which, okay, everyone's intuitive. So like their logic could more so be in and around their claircognizance, which is likely misunderstood as logical, like knowing and things like that. But like oftentimes just channeling into your person here, pile number 2, they may not even be aware that like however much it is that they know comes to light through their intuition as well. Like when it comes to claircognizance in general, it's a quote unquote psychic knowing, you know what I mean? So it's like, how do you prove that you can know something without having like the full facts? But either way, on repeat, so fam, as I've been talking about it, I just keep hearing, I told you so. You should have stayed away. So whether this should have stayed away is from the person that you're channeling into today, because that could be the case for some of y'all. Your person, if you are in a relationship with them and this is like a healthy, happy kind of a thing, they could have just warned you that other people and experiences could have hurt you, and they did. Okay? So that's kind of how this is. We're going to, no, not this deck. We're going to clarify a little bit more using the Pocket Oracle Island Time Wellness Love Oracle cards, okay? And we're going to clarify, oh, lovely. This is going to be in an upright position. The Page of Swords. We have love call. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. So you could perhaps maybe be the type, so fam, because you lead with your heart and have such optimism, things like that, you could really fall into relationships quite quickly, right? I am feeling a little bit more of like an anxious attachment style, right? Where it's like you need to like cling on to people and constantly perhaps maybe require a little bit more reassurance. Your love language could also be words of affirmation, where you like to be told how much it is that you love. And this is how it is also that you express your love, and they see that. So yeah. I think that this is honestly the way that I'm feeling this is you're learning how to perhaps even talk to yourself, right? With a little bit more love and appreciation there as well, without perhaps maybe needing other people's assurance. But obviously being told is always very helpful for you too, especially if that's one of like your love languages and preferred forms of like expression, right? So that person that you're channeling into today really recognizes that. Let's see. I would like a clarifier here between the Page of Swords and the High Priestess. I did hear shuffle, so Let's do that. What are you learning here when it comes to your intuition? Clarifier, please, with the Page of Swords and the High Priestess. I did hear flip, so we're going to keep... There it is. Coffee cup. Okay, so we have meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted, and friendship. All right, so this is really interesting, but y'all could really be dabbling into more like tea leaves, okay? Like reading your fortune and things like that through coffee grinds or like tea leaves and things like that. Just something that's really interesting that came out there, especially when it comes to forms of like spiritual play. It could very well be that you are now heightening your level of discernment, okay? You could also be really learning a lot of different types of intuitive modalities through forms of networking and your friendship and things like that. I also heard that like your friendship group may as well had been changing a lot, and you've learned how to perhaps maybe move away from people who had done you harm, and we're going to be clarifying everything, right? And moving into more so of a direction of like peace and like clarity with like the right types of friend groups and things like that. So like your person's really recognizing that like it's through meeting and conversing and actually having experiences that you learn how to heighten more so of your intuition. Cool. What do they think about my pile number 2? How they view my pile number 2? Let's get a clarifier here with this Page of Cups energy. Page of Cups energy. Interesting. Sorry, I meant the 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups. Please clarify 5 of Cups with the High Priestess. Okay. We have Heart with the Key. Welcome, love, meeting the one, opening your heart, getting together, and perfect. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move these cards over here, okay? Because the message is beginning to be a little bit more redundant. You can very well be, dare I say, like a hopeless romantic, okay? My pile number 2. You can be really giving of your heart, and become hurt for it. If this is your current experience, or perhaps maybe your past experience, you can have very well been like ghosted a lot of times. Like perhaps maybe you didn't receive these calls and things like that, but like you still remained open. I am seeing like Tinder, you know, whether of course you were on like dating apps, but like I'm seeing someone that is like constantly putting themselves out there, you know what I mean? And like this person is viewing you that way, where it's like you have to constantly be meeting people. You can't really be alone. You constantly have to have somebody. Now, again, these are their thoughts of you and their views of you, so you don't necessarily have to agree, but nonetheless, these are the messages for pile number 2. So you could always be welcoming to people whom perhaps maybe don't always have like your best intention in mind, and yet you still have like this high hope of wanting to see the absolute best in people to almost like a fault, right? So I do kind of want to say that like the person that you're channeling messages in from today, whether this is someone that you're in a relationship with or in separation with, they do kind of judge you for this way of being and way of thinking, right? Because that's kind of like the impression that I'm getting through like my delivery right now. So don't shoot the messenger. Much love from my end here. Nevertheless, it's like you have such a high intuition, and yet it's like you play yourself, dare I say, lesser than. Okay, because I'm definitely not going to be the type that, like, even if I'm channeling other people's thoughts of you, I'm not going to, like, say something mean about your level of intelligence, because that's not what it is that you need to hear, nor do I believe that that is deserving. And honestly, I think that a lot of people have already said some really negative shit to you in the past. So, like, these words are not going to come out of my mouth. Nevertheless, people may perhaps maybe really judge your level of intelligence and integrity when it comes to your need for connection and seeing things from a much positive perspective than most people are capable of. Like, they just don't understand your level of logic, because to them it's illogical. Is that making sense to y'all? Oh, my nose started itching, so unfortunately it has. And so, fam, from what it's worth, I hope you never change, unless it is for you just gaining better discernment from people whom would never talk to you that way, you know? So from me to you, much love, honestly. Yeah. Let's get the Chariot and, well, no, I just heard just Chariot. Okay, so clarifier for the Chariot, please. Clarifier for Chariot. We have karmic relationship, fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting you go, and loving you. Are y'all seeing that there is a little bit more of like a common trait here? I'm gonna shove this down a little bit so it's a little bit more in frame, but like, you see? There's a commonality about how this person really views you, that you're more willing to move into karmic relationships. Now, this may be a confirmation solely for the Chariot, but the simple fact that I was even unconsciously prompted to place it right here just tells me that, like, when it comes to karma, okay, karma is a repeated lesson that comes around time and time again that usually hurts us more and more every single damn time until we choose to step out of that loop with a new reaction, with a new action, with a new realization that we will never actually stumble into that form of experience again, because with your level of discernment, you have now learned who and what isn't really good for you anymore. Now, this person views you as someone whom is constantly diving into karmic relationships and karmic cycles with, although the people may be different, the situation tends to leave you hurt and feeling as though you are less than. I keep hearing, I told you so. So if anything, I mean, we're going to dive into more so of like what this person would say to you if they could, but like the repeated message throughout how it is that they view you is, I told you so. And I am seeing someone hugging you, so they just want to protect you. And they love you enough to let you go and have you have these experiences. It's like, honestly, I'm kind of feeling that like this could potentially even be like a best friend of yours, you know? Like I am intending a lot of this to be more so romantic, but like perhaps the person that you are with, or of course, obviously in separation with, at one point or another was like a best friend to you, you know? And they just want to keep you safe, but like witnessing you be in pain due to other people is like, to them, like, I told you so, and like, how many times do we have to do this? It's like it's like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a new outcome. You know what I mean? Hand of Cards comes out. Take a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing hand, gambling. And the way that they view you, at least the way that they would hope, okay, would be for you to have a new frame of mind. The Spade is associated with the sword, okay, when it comes to tarot. So Ace of Swords being depicted in this card here shows that there is like this new frame of mind. You have an opportunity to learn. And so they're very hopeful that through this pain and like knowing that you would never do onto others, but you're the one that people do things onto you too, that you would be able to take a chance and like, I just heard, listen to me. Trust me. And perhaps maybe, so fam, pile number 2, you may have to take a gamble and trust in what this person had been attempting to teach you for a really long time, because they no longer want to see you hurt. Like, I think that overall their intention is really good. They're just very frustrated with you constantly being hurt. Not because it's like that they, you know, like are like so over it, but like rather because it's like when you tell somebody something over and over again, like, don't press this button, it's gonna electrocute you, and like you just keep pressing the button and hurting yourself. They're sitting here going like, I literally told you what's going to happen and you're still choosing to electrocute yourself. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I love you so much that you're frustrating me for not listening to me. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I hope that you're still here. And that you're trusting this insight, because I do honestly think that it is coming from a place of love. I really, really do. And this person, the way that they view you is like with this hopeful yearning for you to just listen to what it is that they're saying and trust in their insight and like know that, yeah, it may be a little bit different, but perhaps maybe you would be open to learning and just doing something a little bit different and enforcing your level of intuition and emotional experiences into a more logical perspective. You know, like there has to be an even balance between the emotion and the logic, right? Like this is where we bring in yin yang, like the black and the white, right? Like there's an even balance of it, where too much of one thing will cause instability. So yeah, let's get one more clarifier here for that Sun card. This card here really wants to make itself known. We have twin flames. Didn't I just talk about yin yang? Shut up. You cannot make this shit up. Does this mean that y'all are twin flames? Maybe. Okay. I, of course, believe that there are far and few twin flames than people claim themselves to be, but that's also because I take more of like a less romanticized notion and perspective about it, which, you know, kind of is embodying the way that this person is kind of seeing you, right? Not to say that like you can't be a twin flame or a soulmate. It's just, it's about balance here. It's about duality and complementing and zen and yin yang. Okay, this is what this message is for you to find an easy balance between your heart and your mind. And that is what's going to ultimately, in their perspective, bring you even more happiness and stability, so that you can still keep this beautiful, like childlike glee of yours, no matter what happens in life or how old you are and everything, and yet still bypass a lot of the pain. It's so funny, because like I keep accidentally knocking over this camera and like light and like putting things out of balance, and I'm constantly like fixing things. It's like this person, using it as a metaphor, as I always do in my readings, it's like this person's always willing to like set you right again and like be there for you. Even if you are in separation, they likely had played this role for you in one form or another until eventually y'all obviously separated, right? For whatever personal readings that may be. My nose itched on that. By the way, when my nose itches, my accuracy tends to go up in readings. So that's like my little unconscious like sign. Nevertheless, let me know if this is resonating with y'all so far. Let's dive into now what it is that they would say to you if they could. You are right. Okay. Honestly, I am reading this more as like, I told you so. You know what I mean? It's like they kind of just want to hear you say it to them, especially with love call being there. It's like, just tell me that I'm right. Like, you know I'm right. And yet you're acting like I'm not, like I don't have your best interest in mind. Yeah, this person with so much love just wants you to see things in their perspective and allow you to really see you in a way that they see you, and that is as someone whom perhaps maybe is a little bit more fragile when it comes to their heart and their love, and yet is capable of experiencing more love. Let me hold you also comes out, which amplifies the simple fact, so fam, that this person's intentions for you are more pure. Okay, like they do want to protect you. Perhaps maybe sometimes the way that they say certain things doesn't really showcase that, and perhaps maybe even their love language could be more physical, you know? And like I said, like they may not say and express things to you the right way, and yet they just want to hold you, they just want to love you, they just want to protect you. They have your highest and best intentions in mind. I am really truly feeling there's a lot of love from this person for you. Pile number 2. It just may not always be expressed in the right ways. So perhaps this is an opportunity for you to open up and find another form of love language, such as physical touch or like acts of service. You know, I just heard this person ask you, do you even see me? Like, do you see how much I love you, how much I care for you? What else do I need to do? And like just using the phrases, they're very much more action oriented than they are verbal. So perhaps maybe pile number 2, open up to their level of expression as well. That's not to say I'm telling you to like change yourself. No. Like you can still have love languages, your, what's the word? Affirmations be your primary love language, but perhaps maybe you can also open up to the different perspectives that like other people may have other forms of expression, and to them it could be more physical. It could be doing things for you. It could be holding you, right? They may not always have the right words to say, but they love you. I just heard don't run away. So it could very well be so, fam, that like if you don't hear what it is that you really need to hear at that given time, you feel really hurt, you know? But again, and I will tell y'all, soul fam, if I haven't been as honest as I already am in this reading, if it's not as clear for y'all, soul fam, I will give it to y'all straight every single time, and genuinely channeling into this person's energy for y'all, soul fam. I am feeling like the highest intentions for you. It's just expressed in a different way that you may potentially not be very comfortable with. So it's about learning something different and new, you know? What would they say to you if only they could? I miss you. Do you? Stop running from this person. It's like, even though I said that there is like this like anxious attachment that I'm really feeling from y'all, soul fam, the second that you don't get the level of love and appreciation, you push back, or like you say something really mean, even though like I am feeling, and I do stand by that you would never cause harm onto another. You may inadvertently do that. You know, it's like accidentally. We're all human. We all say things that we never really meant to, and yet, you know, life happens the way that it has. Next card is you hurt me, but that's okay, I guess. You know, it's like no matter what, this person still wants to hold you. So fam, this seems like it's a little bit more of like the looking glass scenario, you know, and hopefully this reading is helping y'all see like a little bit of a different perspective here. This card really wants to make itself known. I'm open to compromise. You cannot make this shit up. Like, I keep hearing, do you see me? Do you see? Interesting. Very interesting. What would this person say to you if only they could? So fam, if you do want something more precise and concise, by the way, if you also would like some more support on how to perhaps maybe change more of your perspective, feel free to please book with me at knmwitchery.com, okay? And right now we do currently have a sale, 22% off until the end of day February 18th, 2024. So if you're catching this, you can also catch a bit of a discount. You are so very special. You are so very special. I love that this is also kind of like beaming when it comes to like that yellow here and like all of this yellow. Like they think that you are worth more than you've ever opened yourself up to. I keep hearing, do you see me? What is that? Let me know in the comments down below. Is that making sense to you? This card wants to make itself known. I want to start a family with you. This person would love to take you to like the next step and be like your forever, if you will. But that has to come with a level of compromise. It just has to. I think so. Yes. They would say yes to you. They don't want to lose you. If that answers any of your particular questions, because for some reason, like my nose is itching on the simple fact that maybe you have been like questioning something with this relationship and things like that. So this is, I don't know. I think this message here is a personal one for you. Let's now dive into the Hidden Truth Oracle. What would pile number 2's person say to them if they could? What would pile number 2 say to them if only they could? You know, I am actually hearing change me. Finding out the truth crushed me, okay? I think that this is honestly you just... I think either way, the way that y'all communicate to each other may not exactly be the best. Like you may not have the best verbal communications. And finding out the truth of the level of pain or like the amount of like trials and tribulations perhaps you went through in relationships, whether they be familial. Okay, so it could be family stuff. It could be you know, romantic kind of quarrels that you had gone through. It could also even be your friends. Like however it is that y'all resonate with this personally could differ, but nevertheless, it hurts this person to see you hurt. So instead of actually continuously using the Hidden Truth Oracle, I am called to use one of my oracles that I have created. This isn't for y'all, but once upon a time. And yeah, so I just work here. I listen to my intuition just as much as I know pile number 2 does. So let's roll with it. What would pile number 2's person say to them if only they could? What would pile number 2 person say to them if only they could? Let me take care of you. I don't know what to say. When it comes to your overall level of communication, soul fam, this person doesn't have the words that you want to hear. They're happy to give you what it is that you need to hear, but they know that that truth will hurt you. So they just want you to let them hold you, pile number 2. My heart skips a beat. They're very much in love with you, okay? I'm proud of you. And I can't control myself. They may not be able to control their frustrations with you in your healing process. I will say that much. They may also not be able to control themselves in wanting to... this person may be highly protective over you, so they may in fact kind of want to like hurt the people who hurt you, you know? I know as someone whom myself is very protective over the people that I love, like, especially I'm an Aries moon, like I and a Sagittarius rising, like I have so much fire in me and like this like rage, and I just want to instill sometimes physical, if not verbal, pain onto others. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I know, me even sitting here as like a spiritual kind of teacher, like saying this, but it's a very human thing. Like, emotions are very normal. And this person, like me even channeling this type of energy through, like, they would do anything for you. Anything for you. And oftentimes it's something physical. So they can show you through acts of intimacy. Perhaps maybe, oh, I just heard nope. You could kind of push away from intimacy here, pile number 2, at least from this person. And that, oof, that hurts the heart space. I am feeling that. So it could really hurt them when you push them away. Soul fam. Okay? Just know that the way that they express their love is different than perhaps maybe you have allowed before, but it's about balance, okay? And their heart skips a beat when you come into the room, and they are proud of you nonetheless. They want you to continue growing, and like this intuition is something that is very like, it's very powerful, and yet the 5 of Cups and like the 10 of Swords and all of this like past energy is just, they don't want you to experience getting hurt over and over and over and over again, especially if, for some of y'all, a very minute few of you, like the person that you're channeling into today, which likely changed throughout this reading, did instill like pain onto you. But those are like the assholes in life that like just, yeah, steer clear from, okay? So like interesting kind of like puzzle pieces coming in for y'all, but nevertheless. What would pile number 2's person say? Whoop, I heard no. Okay, I'm sorry, because these cards just kind of flew out and Spirit's like, no, we're just going to keep shuffling. What would pile number 2's person say? This card really wants to make itself known. Don't forget about us. So if you have been in separation from this person and they never really intended to instill any pain, as others obviously freaking have, onto you, okay? They want you to remember them in a way that, again, that they always had your highest and best intention in mind. This is kind of feeling more so of like a best friend energy eventually, and like without projecting too much of my own experiences too, I had been the friend that had to walk away and separate from a best friend who never learned, who chose to keep going through the same types of karmic cycles for years and years and years in our friendship, that like I couldn't stand by it anymore, you know? And it was with so much heartache that I made the tough decision to walk away from this friendship. And I know that I caused this person a lot of pain because I cut them off and I blocked them off of everything. I had to protect my own peace at that point. And sometimes it's like you hurt somebody because you love them. But there are no more words that could possibly be expressed anymore. And the hope is that this person will still remember the positives that we had. You know, because the intention, again, was never necessarily to hurt this person. And yet eventually you get to a point where if you're constantly hitting that wall, and it's the definition of insanity. Again, I mentioned doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a new outcome. Eventually, something or someone's gotta break. They've gotta walk away. So, if that resonates, this person still wants y'all to remember them really positively. Whew. Pile number 2, y'all are bringing me into my feels and shit here. Damn, I love you. I really do. And you will come out amazingly out of this, especially because you hold such a very positive perspective, okay? It's just a matter here, pile number 2, of you perhaps maybe not giving people the benefit of the doubt so willfully as you typically do. You know what I mean? It could only help you out even more. My nose is itching a lot, so hopefully this message is being delivered in a really positive way, and you're accepting the love that I know y'all perhaps maybe have been missing. I am hearing my snaps. So I guess this is where we close off here, Soul Fam. There is an extended, in case if you would be interested. We are going to be diving into more like R-rated, 18 plus sexual stuff. And it is its own pick a card. It doesn't follow, like the pick a card in the extended has 3 piles as opposed to 4, because I want y'all to go on like your own adventure. So if of course you would ever be interested in something like that, and it perhaps maybe even be from someone different than perhaps maybe has been channeled through to you today, you are more than welcome to do that. Otherwise, please subscribe. There are a ton of different spiritual check-ins right now. There's a playlist full of them that help to offer you clarity and healing and really truly optimize that spiritual evolution. So I do hope that you join the Soul Fam and perhaps maybe gauge some really wonderful connections along the way, and the types of affirmations that you require at this time in order to heal. And of course, you're more than welcome to book with me at knmwitchery.com. But that is the end of your reading here today. So please let me know with a comment down below. And yeah, if I don't see you in another pile here, Soul Fam, I hope to see you in another reading in general. Much love to you. Much, much love. Peace. Hello, what's up, what it do? Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. Let's dive on in to how they view you and what they'd say to you if they could. Before we do, just a quick shout out to my girl Tanya for gifting me, whoa, this beautiful deck. The Unfolding Tarot, which is what we're going to be using for the first bit of our reading today. It is such a beautiful deck nonetheless, and I'm just grateful that I have such a wonderful support system that offers me such beautiful gifts. So thank you so much, T. I love you for it. Diving right on in. First card is Justice. I did hear Libra, so you may be a Libra. It doesn't necessarily have to apply, but nevertheless. We have the Emperor. Okay, there's some Aries energy. And then we have the Star with some Aquarius energy. Okay, now this is the very first time throughout these piles that I've actually been bringing out like astrology into this. So you can also be really into astrology, okay? Or of course, these could be one of your main placements or like energies and things like that. Of course, let's not get stuck on things like that if it doesn't apply. This could absolutely still hold messages for y'all. That being said, I have to mention that y'all, pile number 3, got nothing but major arcana up on this table, okay? So the person that you're channeling into today, all of these messages, I will say that they think very highly of you. You could very well be more of like a spiritual guru to them, if you will, although they may not necessarily mention that. They do see your position of authority in their life, okay? Someone that is likely divinely guided to them. Someone who also fills their cup very nicely whilst also finding the appropriate amount of balance in order to, it's like, you fill your own cup, pile number 3, before you spill onto everybody else. And that, in essence, is what allows you to be a really healthy and good leader as well. Okay? Because you give about as much as you are willing to take for yourself. You know? They could honestly also look into your business as something that is really highly motivating, something that has really intrigued them. Perhaps maybe it's through your business and what it is that you do on a day-to-day. And like you could very well be more so in like the occult businesses like myself, or perhaps maybe some form of like therapy and coaching. I just heard psychiatry. You could be doing Reiki, things like that, right? I did also hear crystals too. So anything of like the occult base could be something that really intrigued this person to come on your way. And what I will also say is your level of like fairness within your authority is something that this person really, I just keep hearing like they look up to you, like they have mad respect for you, pile number 3. So let's dive on into more. Card out, we have the King of Wands, okay? You are passionate, you are driven, another leader here, okay? So whether or not you are a male or female tuning in, don't matter to me, respectfully, you hone this level of self-knowing, and you're very difficult to rock, okay? Like, meaning that you stand very firm in your ground and in your 2 feet, and like you're still willing to be like compassionate and helpful and lead through kindness, and yet you're not also anyone that people can fuck with. You know what I mean? And I respect that. That's respectful. Like, people want to respect you. I like this for you, pile number 3. This is lovely. Let's pull some more cards for you. How do they view my pile number 3, please? These cards want to make themselves known. We have the 9 of Pentacles as well as the 7 of Wands. This card wants to come out here too. 8 of Cups. And okay, what a mess. Last card was the 6 of Pentacles. So really beautiful, enriching cards, I would honestly say. When it comes down to it, I definitely am feeling more of like a business vibe with y'all. Okay. You are very professional in this person's eyes. Here, pile number 3, you likely make some really good money. People want to gift you. This person may even want to gift you too. But how it is that they view you is someone who is incredibly abundant and very happy to receive. Someone whom, now obviously I'm reading for like those whom are in relationships as well as in separation. Okay, so take everything as, of course, it may resonate with you personally. But if you are single, they view you as someone whom is really actually fulfilled, which these days, we don't really hear a lot of that, especially as females. Now, men have a little bit of a different standard in society, even if they are single. But if you are a female and you are single, they view you as someone whom is very, again, fulfilled. Like, you can actually have happiness, and your happiness is beyond just finances. You know, it's like you're happy in your own skin, and sure, it may not necessarily be the full 10 of Cups, and yet whatever it is that you do have, you hold high authority in, and we definitely see that. The 7 of Wands out here tells me that you hold very strict boundaries. You don't just let anybody into your circle, and you're very willing to walk away every single freaking time. Like, pile number 3, the notion that I'm receiving here from the person that I'm channeling in for you, the way that they view you is that, like, if you have to walk away from everything that you've built in order for you to remain respected in your industry, or just frankly find and own that self-preservation and fulfillment, you will do it. Like I said, like, you can't be swayed. So if anyone treats you negatively, if your clientele ain't all that it's supposed to be, if perhaps maybe you've built an entire empire, you're happy to walk away from it should it no longer serve you. And that is something that is quite intimidating to other people, but to this person, it's very appealing. It's very like attractive. It is very attractive. And although what we're seeing here is a lot of masculine-based energy, there is this really beautiful balance of give and take, so much so that like your feminine energy of welcoming in wealth and appreciation and just honor, I'm hearing, is something that comes very easily for you at this junction in life. And I just heard not always. So it wasn't always like this for y'all. And yet something has changed for you. I'm sensing a really deep maturity in my pile number 3. Y'all have gone through some shit. And what's amazing is you've really benefited from it in the end, which is probably a lot of the reason why, like, you, again, people just can't fuck with you, you know, unless like you want them to. But like, I mean it in the sense of like, people can't destroy you. And which is fucking amazing. It's just, you're not easily swayed by, let's say, people's opinions about you or nothing. You know what I mean? You're just like, yo, the only people who are judging me right now are the ones whom haven't done as good as me. And sure, maybe that has a little bit of a tinge of an ego, but really it's about standing on your self-respect and your worthiness. And this person sees you that way. And you will happily get onto your merry way if it means not accepting any form of disrespect. So it's very admirable, incredibly admirable. And this person has been witnessing you grow. It's like the return on your energetic investment is something that this person has taken high note of. And I'm not saying that they're attracted to you because of what it is that you can bring in, which I can already feel with your energy here, pile number 3, that you may be a little bit resistant at times. But like, even if you are in a relationship with this person that we're channeling through, you know what I mean? Like, they really love the fact that, like, in so many ways, pile number 3, you don't really need them. And that's expressed through grace. You know, like, they know that with or without them, you're going to be okay. You're going to thrive. And again, I say that to so many people, that could be something that's really intimidating. And yet to this person, they're very attracted to your level of balance within. So you're able not only to really get out there and achieve your goals and knock it out of the park, but also still remain graceful and respectful, dignified, and you've never lost yourself. There's oftentimes when perhaps maybe you've noticed people in your life get an ounce of success and then lose their heads along the way. Meanwhile, here you are, standing firm in your values and never allowing that to sway you in a direction of greed, of disloyalty, of just some just blah behaviors. Y'all feeling what I'm saying, yeah? I'm also sensing that you have this really beautiful connection to your divine purpose. And thus also, you may honestly have a lot of like synchronicities in and around you, or this person gets a lot of synchronicities about you. You know, it's like y'all can be hanging out and out of nowhere, like be seeing particular numbers and letters and things like that. This person thinks about you quite often. I would say I'm feeling that. And that's just also because like they admire you. I just heard there's nobody like you. Ooh, I love it. Let's get some clarifiers here on how it is that they view you. How do they view my pile number 3, please? Let's clarify the Justice and the Emperor. We have the Butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child growth. Okay, so if you are currently in separation with someone, or this is someone new that you're channeling in for today, they could absolutely be wanting to take this a step further. Now, I mean, that's more so of like the obvious way to go about it. If you are, well, you are someone whom is in a relationship with the person that you're channeling messages through today, then this person really sees you as someone whom overcomes obstacles, that is constantly growing and evolving. Like right now, you are that butterfly. You know, like your wings are spread, like you're no longer that caterpillar or in their cocoon, and they may have very well really witnessed you evolve into this Emperor, Justice, Star type of quality. Now, I'm hearing with Star too, like you may really be online quite frequently and sharing your wisdom, your work, your business, etc. to the public, and it's really being quite acknowledged. So this could be a foretelling for y'all, soul fam, that whatever it is that you're building, you are going to find a beautiful success in, if not already, okay? And this person right now is witnessing that before their very eyes. Again, you are something spectacular to them. I love this pile number 3. What's up? What it do, baby? Please comment down below. I would love to meet you. Let's get some more clarifiers here. This card wanted to come out. We have the Chaser. Chaser and codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issue. Okay, so I will say that this is a little bit less about your energy, pile number 3, and more about them wanting to chase you. Okay, I am also really noting that this Chaser is facing the star here, which is kind of telling me that like you're this like shooting star that like you can be fleeting. Again, like you can easily be here one day and then walk away the next day if any of your values and beliefs are being disrespected. Like there's something here about y'all standing on respect or nothing, you know? I love that vibe. And so they want to now chase you even more. It's really beautiful because even if you are in a relationship, this person is going to constantly keep wanting to like give to you, you know, because you will not at all accept absolute comfort. Meaning that like, just because you have me, don't mean you still gotta like, you know, not work for me. You know, like you better show me consistently how much I am worth to you, or it's girl, boy, bye. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know your worth here, pile number 3. I fucking love this for you. And so they want you. They're gonna chase you. It could also have been a long time ago that you were more so the chaser, okay, in relationships, but you have evolved from that. And so this has really enticed others to want to give and chase you. But again, so fam, like whether this is the person that we're channeling through today or honestly society, like people are going to want to run towards you and whatever it is that you're offering because your energy is a rarity. I mean, all of us obviously contribute something rare to society, but you stand on that shit. Like, I keep wanting to repeat myself in certain cases, but like, you stand on respect. Yeah, I love it. This person sees you very highly, pile number 3. I heard shuffle, so that's what I'm gonna do. How do they view my pile number 3, please? How do you view my pile number 3? We have karmic relationship, fleeting, triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. Okay, so when it comes to the chaser and karmic relationship, if I'm going to pull another card on top of this too, because this is going to only resonate with those of y'all whom are in separation, okay? At one point or another, the person that we're channeling through today for y'all has a lot of regrets of putting you in more of like a karmic type of relationship, meaning karma is a repeated cycle that will continue to come up again and again and again until we meet it with a different type of action, belief, value, etc. Hence your ability to set really high standards of boundaries, right? So this person has some regret on how it is that they loved you, I want to say, and I just heard I want to make it right. Okay, now I did say I was going to pull another card, so how about for those whom are in relationships? Now this could be equivalent to it, right? Like perhaps maybe you are with the person that, whatever, you guys get it. Not today. Okay, not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, call person, boundaries, still angry. Okay, so you may be in a little bit of a quarrel, if you will, or like you kind of have your current person at a bit of like an arm's length. Perhaps maybe even the person that you're currently with and tuning in about pile number 3, you may think that they are placing you in a bit of like a karmic loop and things like that. At this point, this is just a general reading on YouTube, but if you want something precise and concise for you, be sure to book at knmwitchery.com. And I will mention, just in case if y'all skipped the intro, there is a 22% off all of my psychic services. So you can get a spiritual check-in, a mediumship session, or a intuitive reading with me for 22% off until February 18th of 2024, right? So if you're catching this on or before that date, let me know how that can help ya, you know? But otherwise, I obviously do hope that this reading is going to serve its purpose for you. When it comes to not today, honestly, I just think that, like, you're just not really dealing with, like, the BS, you know what I mean? You'll be like, save it. I've got things to do. I've got businesses to run. I have, like, goals to obtain and things like that. And I'm not about to lose myself right now. And again, it's a little bit less of an ego. And of course, like, there is some, like, pride and ego in this, right? Like, we're human. Of course, there's some ego. That's how it is that we operate. Nevertheless, you're standing on self-respect. Like, I keep wanting to kind of repeat, like, the same things, like you standing on respect, because, like, you're not willing to accept anything less than what it is that you deserve. Amen. So the person that you're channeling into today, you just may kind of be pushing away to be like, if you think I'm about to chase you, you got another thing coming, baby. Like, you better prove it to me. You better recognize my worth. And I will say that this person does. They really do. It's so funny because for y'all, I'm not really clarifying cards like I did for the first couple of piles. So let's just keep pulling messages here. What and how is it that they view my pile number 3? We have the Phoenix, new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. This is very synonymous, I would say, with the butterfly here. They have witnessed you transform. Okay. I did hear Phoenix rising specifically, which is something I personally resonate with, as I had just kind of undergone more of like a dark night of the soul experience myself, and I had birthed myself from these ashes, no longer burning myself up in flames, recognizing my self-worth and boundaries that needed to be set in place. And the reason why I'm mentioning that, Soul Fam, is because this is really being reflected in y'all right now. And this person is viewing you like the phoenix, like the butterfly. I'm telling you, like, they know your worth. I think that, like, the reason why you may be kind of like having them about a bit of an arm's length is because they don't know how to approach somebody like you, because they could be used to karmic relationships and things like that. So it's like unconsciously or accidentally, if you will, they almost put you in this type of position and you're just like, no. Try again or step off, because I have no problem walking away, honey. You know? So it's like you're having them right now really view not only you differently, but relationships differently. And so the Phoenix coming out here could honestly be this renewed sense of how to approach relationships. Because again, I repeat, you stand on respect. Love that for you. We have sunglasses, watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. You are really being, I want to say watched, but more so observed. It's like, so fam, when people aren't really used to your kind of energy, they don't really know how to approach you. You know what I mean? And it's just like every single time they think they got you figured out, you come out of the woodworks with like a new piece of information, a new form of boundaries, a new perspective that you got them really thinking about. And it's really funny because I'm kind of getting a sense of like being hungover. You know, like when you super hungover, you got like the darkest glasses on your face because like light burns. You're kind of like that burning light to this person sometimes, because they're used to people more so operating out of their shadow. But here you are, pile number 3, operating out of your light, out of your magnificence, out of your purpose. So of course, they watching you. Of course, they're being burned up by your ability to set fire and still come out thriving and shining. Again, you're very spectacular to this person and they don't know how to react. Honestly, I love that for you. Now, I know some of y'all, because I'm feeling this from you, you may be kind of stuck on gaslighting. This could just be a little bit of like, okay, number one, okay, I'm saying number one, but I'm showing number two. Number one, y'all may have had a little bit of like an instance where this person did attempt to gaslight you and you were like, try again. Or they may be giving you the impression that they're going to repeat particular karmic relationships in past that you had already grown out of, right? This could honestly, even for some cases, kind of be like a repeated relationship, meaning that like once upon a time, y'all were in a relationship, you broke up for however long of a time, whether it was 2 weeks, 2 months, or 12 years, don't matter. Like you have this like ability to kind of come back together. For some of y'all, obviously it won't apply to everybody. And once upon a time, they used to gaslight you and perhaps maybe even like put you off to the side. But now they're really noticing and witnessing that they can't treat you like this. Not anymore. Things have changed. You've changed. Pile number 3. So again, stand on that shit. I love that shit for you. All right, we have, interesting, soulmates. Soul connection, partnership, agreement, soul contract. So this can absolutely be a soulmate. And I'm hearing this lifetime. So it's not necessarily, okay. Number one, again, I repeat, this could very well be someone that you had already been in a relationship or an entanglement of sorts before, and you're hitting redo and restart on this. And, or this is likely someone whom is actually more new to your soulmate tribe. Because some of the common misconceptions when people hear soulmates is that you've had like multiple past lives together. But like there's more people in the world now than there ever had been before, which means that there are new souls and counterparts, etc., that have made themselves, you know, aware and reincarnated into this particular world and experience. I, for one, am one of those types of spirits. I've reincarnated on Earth before, but my soul is not primarily from here. I'm out of this world, baby. I am a starseed. I'm personally from the Pleiadian realms. But nevertheless, you know, it's like you have certain people that reincarnated at different times. And so this is one of your soulmates, but I am thinking that like, okay, pile number 3. I guess the reason why I'm like going so in depth about like different types of soulmates with y'all today is that like, I don't think that y'all really fall for like the fake facade of like how typically society views relationships and things like that, because you're just like, no, like let's humble these perspectives for a hot second. Like let's look at this a little bit more realistically. Let's take off the fucking sunglasses and the rose-colored glasses, if you will, you know what I mean? And like see things for what it is. So I do believe that there is some form of soul contract and y'all have made an agreement to meet each other and experience particular things in this lifetime together. But do I believe, at least again, as a YouTube reading online, generally speaking, that y'all have had lifetime and lifetime and lifetime together? No. But then again, perhaps maybe because this is currently from the lens of the other person and how it is that they view you, they perhaps maybe are only now opening up to concepts and terms like soulmates and even twin flames and things like that, which again, be a little bit wary and careful of, right? Just because like the nuance out there is a little bit more dangerous and it gets people stuck in loops that like could very well be avoided with a little sprinkle of logic, which I think is another reason that like they're kind of humbled by you. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, yo, like I think that like you're my soulmate, or dare I even say twin flame, and you're just like, okay. Like if you think I'm going to fall for this like traditional, well, not traditional, to this new age spiritual woo-woo, and you're going to kind of catch me by all of these beautiful things you say, like we've known each other for lifetimes, like you immediately shut that shit down. You're like, yo, like, but what are you for me right now? I don't really give a shit about what the hell you think you were in the past. and in a lifetime that I don't really recall much myself. Like, who are you to me now? And how are you showing up to me now? Like, again, y'all stand on some business. Honestly, I relate to pile number 3. If there were any pile that I relate to the most, this is my pile. So gang, pile number 3, what's up, what it do, baby? Yeah, I'm feeling this a lot. I'm feeling it. Let's now begin to dive into what they would say to you if they could. Let's dive into this. What would they say to my pile number 3? I heard shuffle. Let's do that. Okay, this card made itself known. I'm not going to pull it out, but I can't even look at you right now. Could just very well mean that y'all had some form of, again, like quarrel, or like perhaps maybe you're not in contact right now, even if you're in a relationship. Like, there seems to be a little bit of a, you know, we all get into arguments and like have fights and things like that. Like, let's be real, right? So that just might be the case for some of y'all. I had to mention that, otherwise that card would not have. Okay, this was split and it wants to come out. I'm obsessed with your body. I am hearing like, I'm hearing gym ambiance, if that makes sense. So yeah, y'all may be working on your fitness together, or of course it is your fitness and your body in general that has really intrigued this person. And beyond your physicality, they're still hooked, but they're still obsessed with your body. Like, that's the thing that like got them hooked in. And then they started recognizing your worth and your value and your level of self-respect. You know what I mean? And that's kind of intriguing them beyond just the physical, if that's making sense with y'all. I heard yes. Cool. What they would say to you if they could. Yes. Okay. That's pretty self-explanatory. Nothing else to say there. They would say yes to you. If you are in separation and you just like reached out to this person, we'll see what other cards come out, but like they would say yes to your connection. They would say yes to you. They would say yes to some SEX, which, by the way, in the extended, we're going to be diving into yet another pick card that is going to be more R-rated. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So if you're into that sort of stuff, be sure to subscribe, enjoy the VIP tribe. Words do hurt. Oh. Seems as though pile number 3, your honesty intimidates this person. Okay, like, I'm getting this kind of feeling from this person here that like, although they perhaps may not say it, although to some of y'all maybe they already had, they're afraid of your rejection. Probably because they had never really come across somebody who would reject them. You know, and that's not necessarily that this person always receives everyone that like they want, but like to the extent of your self-worth, they haven't met somebody at your caliber, you know? And so your words, when you know, kind of push them away a little bit or like humble them, like it hurts them. It does. So if they could tell you that your words hurt them, they would. But perhaps maybe they also have a little bit of pride, you know? But like, I already know pile number 3, especially as I'm seeing myself in this pile in particular, you want to hear them say it. You know, it's like you want to hear them basically tell you that they're afraid to lose you. They're afraid of, you want them to be vulnerable. Let me just put it in that perspective. You know what I mean? Like, I think that when it comes down to it, pile number 3, you would respect them a tinge more if they would be open to have more vulnerable and real conversations with you, not just something that is very surface level, something that is like, I've heard it all before, you know? And again, this kind of brings in the concept of soulmates where you're just like, this shit doesn't work on me though. Like, what else do you have for me? And so this person's a little bit more afraid to talk to you because they don't know how to approach you fully yet. Like, they're still learning because you've changed so much. You know, like, they may be really intrigued and highly respect this change and transition, and yet they still don't know how to approach you. You're an anomaly for this person, pile number 3. That's funny. It's cute. It's cute. What would they say to my pile number 3 if they could? I'm a very jealous person. And so they're afraid of losing you. They're afraid of telling you, like, that you'll walk away. It could very well honestly be that because you have such a star quality about you and a lot of people want to gift you, whether it literally be with, please ignore all the barking, whether it be with all of the gifts, like the finances, the clientele, etc. that you get, like they get jealous that your attention goes into other things that are not them because, again, you've got your own life, you've got your own goals and things like that that are also outside of this relationship. You are fulfilled on your own regardless if you're with somebody or not. So regardless if you are with this person or not, they are watching you and they are admittedly quite jealous about the attention that you're receiving. It's like they just want to like put you into their pocket and keep you all to themselves, but your energy can't be contained, pile number 3. So the jealousy it's understood, personally speaking. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but like, let me know in the comments down below. Oh my goodness, I keep smacking the damn camera. What would they say to you? Let me hold you. Didn't I say that they just want to put you in their pocket? Okay. I think this person's form of love language could very well be physical touch, right? They want you close, I would say, honestly. I just heard like, I want to smell you. So they could be really intrigued by your scent as well. I do have I want you at the bottom of the pile, so I'll just add that. You are, again, highly magnetic to this person. Highly magnetic in general. But if we're talking about this particular person for you, pile number 3, oh boy, do they want you. This card here really wants to make known. Seek professional advice. Okay, so whether or not it's professional or not, I do sense that this person is speaking to other people about you, perhaps maybe gauging some form of like advice, you know, meaning that like, see, but the thing is I don't really think that they're getting the right kind of feedback because you're so unique. It's like when you're dealing with an anomaly like you, pile number 3, how do people approach you? Because the typical way of reeling and hooking somebody in, it doesn't faze you. And that honestly speaks volumes on the amount of times that people will accept lesser than they know that they deserve. Meanwhile, again, I repeat, you stand on respect. This is at the bottom of the deck. I can't even look at you right now. Like, I don't know what y'all went through or what you did to this person, but they are afraid of you. They're like, they may honestly even be like projecting a little bit to be like, oh, I can't even look at you right now. Meanwhile, what they're doing behind y'all's back is like, again, seeking advice from their friends, from their family members, from perhaps maybe a professional. And they're going like, hey, yo, what do? I did also hear tarot services, so perhaps maybe someone is, in fact, open to speaking to someone else in the occults, which I think you're going to be like, what? But then again, let people do what it is that they got to do, right? Either way, yeah, they don't know how to approach you. And I am sensing, though, consistently, and I repeat, that they're not getting the type of feedback that would actually relate back to you. Like, people are saying, oh, well, you can try this and you can say this. And they're just like, but that doesn't work on pile number 3. they're worth more than that. Like, what else can I do? Like, you're really causing this person, pile number 3, to begin to really think outside of their box, which is, again, something unique to them. You're not predictable. You sure as hell ain't easy. You're easygoing. Okay, don't get me wrong on that. Like, you're laid back and you're cool as hell, but like, you're not easy in the sense that like, you will allow yourself to be walked all over. You know? What would they say to you if they could? I just heard don't tell her. So like, they don't want you to know that they've been seeking advice and like questioning how it is that they ought to act and like, you know, approach you. But whoops, there we go. Glad y'all laughed at that with me. I mean, can I just like drop the mic? This love scares me. I love this job, honestly. Look, you have taken this person and flipped their world upside down. I personally am going to say it was for the best, but nevertheless, they are terrified. No wonder they're thinking about concepts like twin flames and soulmates and shit with you. And who knows, maybe you in fact are soulmates and twin flames, right? Again, I'm speaking very generally, and I want to humble any form of like, you know, extra faceted romanticizing notions that really hurt people in the end, okay? Because I'm not one of those readers that's going to be like, your incoming soulmate and like, this is going to be the love of your life and you're never going to cry a day in your life. Like, what? I'm not one of those people. Sorry, not sorry. Nevertheless, though, because you are such an anomaly, you terrify them. How do I approach you? I want you. And yet I'm jealous and I don't know how to say it to you. Even the thought of you saying no to me would break me. So how can I possibly bring you closer if that would mean you can hurt me? It's like, this could and likely is continuing on to be such a really strong bond only if there is a level of intimacy and vulnerability that can be met. And this person has never even had that really big desire to even show up that way until they met you. What a shock to their system. So it could very well be that like this whole runner-chaser kind of perspective comes into play in this particular connection with you, pile number 3, because they don't know how to approach you. So it's easier sometimes to push away until you know, but again, you don't know until you do something about it. So you're over here, pile number 3, just like waiting and like minding your own business, literally, building your own empire, doing what it is that you got to do, like building different types of connections and like levels of appreciation that with or without this connection, like you're golden, you know what I mean? And it's just like, well, what do you mean you're not chasing me? Pile number 3. What do you mean? What do you mean you're happy and fulfilled without me? Huh? Do you even like me? You got this person shook, pile number 3. Oh, let me know in the comments down below how this is resonating with y'all. I hope you can have a nice little giggle together. And like giggle in the sense that like we're not making fun of the person that we're channeling into today, okay? Not at all. But what I mean is that like you can't kind of help but like smile at how people quiver at your ability to love yourself, you know? Like, it's cute. It's like, aw, like, you know, like that's what we're laughing at. But maybe that's just like my Aries moonness. I need more time. Yeah, I mean, no shit. They can't figure you out. Let me take a minute. Let me take a breather. How do I react? How do I respond to you? You have so many choices and options. I mean, when you are a hot commodity, okay, what do you expect? They're jealous. And I'm not saying like they jealous, like they got like the green monster, you know, and like evil eye on you, but they're jealous because they want you more so to themselves. But yet they look at you as someone who can get anybody they want to. Now, again, whether or not you agree with this statement is your prerogative. This is how they view you. This is what they would say to you if they could. And of course, they're not going to come in with like their tail underneath their, you know, between their legs, like, oh, you have so many options, because that will look really insecure on their part, right? So this is what they would say to you if they could only be a little bit more vulnerable with you. If only. And perhaps maybe they will be. Maybe. Okay. I don't really know what to do with these yeses and maybes, but like, y'all do with that what you will. What would they say to you if they could? What would they say to my pile number 3 if they could? I worry about us a lot. Self-explanatory. I'm going to change the deck here a little bit and see what else we got. What would they say to my pile number 3 if only they could? What would they say to my pile number 3? I heard shuffle me. No problem. Oh, wait. This card on top really wants to come out. Oh, this one does too. Cool. And we're going to shuffle, and I heard flip. There it is. Okay. Just being near you is intoxicating. They may be a little bit obsessed, which I just felt some of y'all pile number 3 smile about. Like, duh, of course you're obsessed with me, girl. I want to tell you how I feel, and I wish things could be different. So whatever it is that may had perhaps occurred in the past, again, whether you're in a relationship with this person, whether or not you are restarting this relationship, whether you are in separation with this person, however it is that this flies with y'all, they definitely want to tell you how it is that they feel, and they're afraid to. Naturally, okay, they're very worried. They know that you've got options. They do be jealous, and they wish that things could be different in your current present circumstances because some things got y'all at an arm's length at the moment. So what do they wish they could tell you if they could? I left you before you can leave me. Okay, and this is exactly that stuff that I was saying about like the runner chaser kind of. I'm running out of places to put these cards, but like, you know how I said that they kind of pushed you away before you can push them away, right? Like they're used to you, or not you, they're used to people chasing them. You know, it's like, I will hurt you before you ever have the ability to hurt me because that's safer. But where this person is coming back around and wishing things could be different is, what if they never pushed you away? What if they just opened up and were honest with you? What if they just honestly told you, I love you? Now, I love you hasn't come out just yet, but they definitely are intrigued and they do want you. So we're going to pull another couple of cards and close this reading out. What are the final words? This one, I heard yes. Okay, we have, I know I messed everything up. Well, that's nice. Accountability is good. What would they say to my pile number 3s? If only they could. We have, I wish I treated you better. So there's definitely some remorse from this person, okay? That's really coming out very strong. I think when it comes to any form of like talks about like feelings and things like that, that might be a little bit tougher to come out, at least in this particular junction of your relationship and connection. You know, I don't really think that they're going to come out of the woodworks and be like, I love you and we're meant to be together, because again, they know that that shit doesn't work for you. Perhaps it's also that they owe you an apology. Okay? You just said, yup. So let me know, what's the scoop? Pile number 3. Please let me know that you are coming from pile number 3. If there's anything that I could possibly do to like support you in your way as well, like for you just being here and supporting me, I'm happy to return the favor. Okay, this is what the Soul Fam is all about. So please remember to like, to subscribe, to join the tribe, to go on to VIP if you're interested in more. If not, that's cool, but I do hope to see you in another pile or in another reading in general. And I think that's a bibbity all from me. I heard my snaps here for y'all. Even if I was to pull more cards, I feel like the message is very clear. So no use in wasting our time, because time is money, and baby, we got things to do. So pile number 3, again, thank you so much for taking your time to be here today. And yeah, I'll catch you on the flip. See ya. Peace. Hello, pile number 4. What's up? What it do? I am so happy you are here. Let's dive right on into how they view you and what they'd say to you if they only could. Quick shout out before we begin to Tanya, my beautiful patron, client, friend, and overall supporter, for gifting me this beautiful Unfolding Path Tarot deck. It is absolutely gorgeous, and what it is that we're going to be starting with today. So thank you, my love, for so much of your support. I've literally been saying this in like every single pile because I foolishly didn't mention it in the intro. But nevertheless, girl, you've seen this eventually, hopefully. Anyways, let's dive right on in. First, for y'all, we have the Tower. Okay. We have the Queen of Coins, or Pentacles. Lovely. Such a beautiful depiction. And we have the Death card. Okay, awkwardly scratches my neck. Okay, so right off the bat, this, you know what? I ain't gonna choose my words too wisely, because after all, this is not my perspective, but rather how it is that the person views you, okay? So pile number 4, this may trigger some of y'all, okay? So it doesn't necessarily have to apply. Remember, it's how another person views you, and it doesn't have to be your full truth, okay? But some people may find you more to be kind of like an F-boy or F-girl, okay? The Tower card can definitely signify different types of epiphanies and like life kind of falling apart in order to be rebuilt again, you know, like life-changing events. It can also mean sex, okay, and a lot thereof, kind of carelessness around it as well. Mixed here with the Queen of Coins, someone whom is very grounded in themselves, definitely works on their personal ambitions when it comes to financial gain and things like that, can sometimes utilize their body, okay, because the coins are the physical body's adaptation in tarot. And so, you know, mixed with the Death card here, this can be someone whom you had either recently gone through like a breakup with, or perhaps could be that the person that you're channeling messages through today is seeing like a really great transformation take place. I just heard you're different, okay? And maybe you're not I can't even speak. Maybe you're not at all utilizing your body, you know, more freely, let's just put in that perspective. And perhaps maybe you're not dating as frequently as this person has you perceived, although something had changed in your overall dynamic and you have completely changed and transitioned in a way that like is opposite than what this person perhaps maybe would prefer. Now, if you're in a relationship with this person, because I'm doing my best to read both perspectives, in separation and in a relationship, your current person may view you as someone whom is in fact finding a lot more self-sufficiency and stability through perhaps going through like an ego death and a transformation of a spiritual sense, because your life completely changed and fell apart and now you're rebuilding from scratch and also doing a relatively good job. So take whatever puzzle pieces of what it is that I just said, so fan pile number 4, that applies to you, and let's carry on and get some more details into it, okay? So how do they view my pile number 4? We have the Queen of Swords. It did come out in reverse, so you know what? I am going to honor it as such. Queen of Swords, we have the Five of Swords, the Knight of Swords, lots of intellect energy, lots of communication energy. Could very well mean, especially since the Queen of Swords is in reverse, either you're completely silent, okay, and you're choosing silence as a form of communication, pile number 4, and or you're misusing your words, okay? Because when the Queen of Swords is in a negative position, she really knows how to sting with just using her words. Like the phrase where your words can't hurt me, like sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words can never hurt me. Like that whole thing is completely irrelevant when it comes to the Queen of Swords energy, because she is one that, gender aside, can utilize words and memories and really anything as a form of manipulation and as a form of attack on a person, okay? And this, honestly, Soul Fam, is coming from a Gemini Mars myself, okay? So, like, I definitely have adopted the Queen of Swords upright position, but I am absolutely capable myself, and I could admit this out loud, so hopefully, pile number 4, you're perhaps maybe, if you're still here and tuning into this, as I'm sure a lot of y'all had honestly clicked off by now, you're like, fuck this isn't what I wanted. You know that your words hold an ultimate power and you can hurt people. And maybe perhaps you have. If it's not directly to this person, they can just view you as someone who can be an ice queen, if you will. Okay, especially here because the Five of Swords is out here too. So like they view you as someone whom, especially with the Knight of Swords, is kind of more willing and open to, dare I say, attack people if they wrong you. Like you're quick with the tongue, you're quick with your wit, you do not stand for any form of disrespect, and a lot of potentially your withdrawals and shortcomings and failures and unfortunate series of events, however it is that it applies to you personally, remember this is a general YouTube reading, all of that has turned you into someone whom could be a little bit more spiteful with their tongue. Could also be someone with the Knight of Swords here that doesn't exactly think before they speak and thus endure pain onto others, right? Also because if someone instills any form of pain onto you, pile number 4, you have no problem fighting back. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to, dare I say, for lack of better words, cower and allow this type of mistreatment or even walk away silently, although you can, right? And perhaps maybe whomever it is that you're channeling this perspective from, I'm not really feeling it so much more romantic as perhaps maybe this could be like an ex or, you know, anybody else that you may perhaps be desiring some feedback from here. But like, yeah, this person just views you as someone who could be very cold, cutthroat, silent, and or quite sharp with their tongue. Okay, and it can absolutely hurt and inflict pain onto others. And perhaps maybe this person views you as someone whom, you know, kind of projects onto others the same amount of pain that they're so willingly, allegedly, to throw onto you too. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those type of readings that's coming up right now. Let's pull some more cards here. How do they view my pile number 4? I heard these two. Okay. So we have the 9, okay, and the 10 of fucking, I'm gonna pull one more for this, okay? Like everyone else got 8 cards, but there's some similarities with, who was it? I believe maybe it was pile number 2. Oh, don't quote me on it. I'm so sorry. I did hear yes, but I'm not 1,000% sure right now. These readings have been quite long as it is. Let me get a clarifier here. Clarify, please, the 10 of Swords. Clarify the 10 of Swords, please. I heard no on the ones that popped out, so I will honor that. I don't even know what it is. There it is. Okay, the Page of Pentacles. I just heard, I don't want to be this way. I also heard I didn't mean it. So the way that I'm perceiving it, okay, kind of taking more so your side if there ever is one on this here pile number 4, it could just very well be that you're really learning how to change your tone, change your verbal diarrhea, if you will, the way that you are perceiving and projecting your pain onto others in a way that is much more grounded, much more kind, much more down to earth. And you're picking and choosing your words very carefully. Hence, of course, also the Queen of Swords in reverse here. I am kind of sensing more so this is some silence with the capability of stinging and hurting others, and yet still choosing, again, like with the Page of Coins here. He's telling me that you have the willingness and drive to take new steps forward that, again, are more grounded, that perhaps maybe honestly you've learned to even communicate safely, and if not even like creatively, even in forms of like leadership, let's say, your pain into progression, but like positive progression, into healing, into perhaps maybe some form of like mentorship, right? Especially here with the 9 of Coins, they view you as someone who's definitely stable. Financially speaking here too, right? Someone whom is very independent, someone whom is in tune with their intuition, okay? The 9 of Coins absolutely is in tune with their intuition. It's almost always depicted with a bird. And birds are, of course, different vessels and symbolisms of like gateway creatures to the other realms and like, you know, different forms of connection when it comes to spirituality and our guides and God, etc., however it is that you resonate with that. And I can see, Soul Fam, that this person views you as someone who has absolutely gone through an immense transformation. And could be perhaps maybe that like what I'd picked up from y'all already, right? Like the more like negative stance on this reading could be your past. And they're viewing you now as someone whom is actually like not even just trying, but like is like you can show the change and the impact in a more positive way right now, right? Like oftentimes, and like we're all human, we all make mistakes and we say things that we don't mean, we do things that we don't mean, but like as opposed to it becoming a pattern and intentional, pile number 4, this person is viewing you as someone whom is now intentionally changing and going through these transformations and allowing themselves to be rebuilt. And yet still know that you are capable, if you must, to fight back. Because you ain't going to, you know, show belly and take any form of like abuse, neglect, or like lies about you, deceit, things like that. No, you're very grounded in yourself. And I am honestly feeling that there's a really beautiful, healthy relationship between yourself and your body. So you can very well be more prone to exposing it, I suppose. Like if you're really confident within yourself, I'm sitting here going like, why not? And even if you are very confident in yourself and you do choose to like, you know, obviously button up and not expose yourself, if you will, that still doesn't negate the level of confidence that you can still have. You know, I think that there's a big misconception that people have that like, oh, if you're really confident, you would show yourself out even more. But again, everybody's kind of shaped differently. I, for one, am very confident in myself, have an immense amount of self-love that I've unlocked in myself, and yet I don't show off my body, right? Due to personal reasons and choices, etc. But nevertheless, like, to judge other people who do falsifies their very essence and things like that, you know? So like, I think that the reason why I'm saying a lot of this, Soul Fam, is it just showcases your openness to see other people's perspectives as well. That the person that you're channeling messages through today is really noticing this like grand change within you. That perhaps maybe they've known you for quite a long period of time, and they've known how often even your own words hurt you, how your own karma and plays and other people, not just your own output, right, has honestly hurt you and stabbed you and dare I say even cut you up in half. And like, here you are being brand new and doing something new. Now, I personally think that you have definitely cultivated beyond the Page energy here, okay, because the Queen of Coins is out here too, and this is one of the primary energies that we've pulled for you today. Nevertheless, this person may very well view you as someone whom is still kind of like working their way through it, right? You may have gone through a lot of hardship. This can signify some anxieties and like depression and things like that, right? That they are aware that you are working through as well, and actively working through. So that's very interesting so far. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's further take this clarification and learn, how do they view my pile number 4 tuning in? How does this person view my pile number 4? How does this person view my pile number 4? We have sunglasses as well as axe. Breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment, watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. So this further clarifies everything that we have been speaking about already, which, like, I mean, I love my job. Isn't it cool? You used to be very sharp. I am saying used to because this is feeling as though this is like more of like a past tense type of an energy, okay? And you do have like this new outlook on life right now. You're seeing things again through different perspectives, through a different lens, if you will. This could very well be someone whom you had broken up with and are more so in separation with. I think that a lot of y'all whom are currently in a relationship choose this particular pile? No, but of course you can be in a relationship and this person just is very well aware of past tendencies and behaviors, and maybe even fell, dare I say, even victim to your verbal demise in the past too, right? Like they are very well aware of what it is that you are capable of. The silent treatment here and abandonment could just go to show that, like, for the most of y'all, honestly, pile number 4, I think that you're not at all in communication with this person. This person wants to see you doing better, but I don't really think that they have too much visibility into much of your changes, as much as they may be kind of seeing it in really minute ways. The Queen of Swords in reverse, even with the Queen of Pentacles, like you may only be as open as you decide. Like you could be really posting on social media, for example, only your happy aspects, right? But not necessarily, obviously, any of the deep stuff. And like we already know that social media is just a highlight reel for the most part, right? And yet what it is that you show for is the more confident, happy, healthy version of yourself. Whereas anything that's going down deep within you, you're silencing, right? Now, that also being said, you also may not have posted in a significant amount of time, and this person is kind of wondering and waiting in silence what you will eventually kind of come out with here, pile number 4. So really, really interested in how else they view you. So let's continue to dive on in. How do they view my pile number 4? Okay. Card out, we have ascending, transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. So I state again, you are undergoing and have likely undergone significant changes to your personal betterment and development. I'm just gonna open the door for my dog who is pawing. Come on in, puppy. Hurry up, let's go. I'm recording, dog. Got things to do, people to deliver messages for. And you can very well be very inviting, I would say, just because I take everything that occurs within my readings as a metaphor here, soul fam. Pile number 4, if this person, whomever they may be, especially in separation and silence, okay, if they were to knock on your door, there is a high likelihood that you will let them in. And I mean, just as what I had said to my dog, like, are you coming in? Like, hurry up. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? And maybe that could actually be quite intimidating to this person, because let me put it in this perspective. Oftentimes, and obviously with my position as a intuitive medium and, well, psychic medium and intuitive coach and like NLP, hypnotherapy kind of guide, whatever the fuck, right? Like, I obviously stand on helping people transform, but it isn't as willing of a, it's not common, let's just say, for most people in society to willfully actually go down the journey and path of self-transformation, right? So they're noticing that you, soul fam, even if quietly and perhaps even secretly, you are undergoing a lot of transformation and you are ascending into a better, higher version of yourself, and thus are choosing more so silence, right? And are building up on your sense of confidence and things like that too. Like, this is ultimately a much more positive reading than perhaps maybe was initially verbalized. But nevertheless, I mean, hey, sometimes like deep transformations have to occur when we hit like rock bottom, you know what I mean? And this person perhaps maybe has witnessed you go through rock bottom and now are kind of like spying on you, if you will, and witnessing your transformation to their allowance. Because I do really honestly think that pile number 4, whoever it is that you're channeling through, like, y'all are most likely not at all in communication for the most part, and you may have honestly even blocked or like rejected this person from even like learning and seeing aspects of yourself, right? So a lot of this information that's coming through on how it is that they view you is a bit more based on assumption and like the tiny minute details and witness that they do have of your overall growth. But I will say that they are absolutely noting that you have and are changing. So do with this information what it is that you will, pile number 4. Let's continue to clarify. I really want to get a clarifier here on this Page of Swords and 5 of Swords. So please clarify these 2 cards for me. This card. Interesting. That was really specific. We have seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party interference. Okay. So this kind of is again mentioning the aforementioned sexual displays and like confidence in displaying like your body and things like that. Okay, this person may just honestly view you as a flirt, as someone who is hooking up on the regular, is kind of hiding a lot of their emotions or perhaps maybe opportunities to be vulnerable with other people and have like actual intimate connections as something that is really fleeting, that's just fun, that's super casual, like, you know, like it's a very hookup kind of perspective that this person has of you. So that's really interesting. I do want like some more clarifiers. This card really wants to come out. Not enough. Frustrated in a relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues, and jealousy. Okay, so it could honestly be that perhaps maybe this person views you as someone whom had unfortunately gone through, again, like a series of unfortunate events. It could obviously be more so in relationships where your level of trust in the opposite person, whether it is the opposite sex in general, or of course, if you're more so like bisexual or gay in any form or sense, but like the opposite person, whomever it is that you're connecting with, like you have been placed in levels of like distrust and like hurt and pain. And thus that kind of turned you into that type of a person, right? Where it's like you can maybe be very sexual, right? And want to still flirt and date and things like that, but you're never allowing yourself to get too close due to reasons that I had already mentioned of you being mistreated in the past, right? It could also really be talking about forms of like attachment styles, right? It could have been the way that you were brought up, soul fam. It could honestly even be to a very minute few of you, and this is where I personally relate, celibacy, where you are absolutely saying like, hell no, like I'm not at all going to even start a relationship until I know that you are, dare I say, worthy enough, right? That we are compatible truly, and it's not something that is just very surface level and like blah, 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 you know? But like either way, however it is that the pendulum kind of swings here for you, the way that they view you is someone whom, due to past experiences, is unwilling to really dive deep and take relationships more seriously as potentially you could, or have the the opportunity to, right? Again, don't shoot the messenger. I just work here. This is how somebody else views you, okay? I just read the cards. Shoot. So perhaps let's clarify the Nine of Pentacles, please. Clarify the Nine of Pentacles. Now, of course, if you would ever want something precise and concise to y'all, so fam, please know that up until February 18th, 2024, I currently have a special for Valentine's Day. Interesting that this comes out. 22% off across all of my psychic services, whether that be a spiritual check-in, intuitive reading, or mediumship session. Okay, like, please take my little thank you and really big love for all of your support and book with me, and we'll work on whatever this is all about, and I can absolutely help guide you on your way as well. That is more so my specialty after all. So when it comes to the Nine of Pentacles here, have faith, love is coming, surprise, invitation, or meeting hesitation. This is absolutely going to get more so clarified when we dive into how it is or what it is that they would say to you if they could. Okay, because I think that this person actually has a lot of loving words to you that they just obviously in separation and perhaps maybe in fear of how it is that you may or may not accept them would say to you. But nevertheless, I think that you're standing on your own. You know your self-worth. As I mentioned, you love yourself, you love your body. And when you love your body and you trust yourself, you know that you can rely on yourself. And I think that when it comes down to it, pile number 4, you've been put in a situation in life where you now only have to learn how to rely on yourself, because unfortunately other people, well, they just didn't offer you what it is that you truly needed and are worthy of. And you're just like, hell no, I ain't going to accept anything, and I'm going to, you know, be there for myself, which I think is very empowering and beautiful. And again, relatable, because yep, I definitely resonate to this pile in some ways too. Trust me, I could at least be honest and state that. Let's get one final, this one here, view about you from this person. And we have Boat. Receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure issues. Okay, so again, it's like you're learning kind of how to move on, how to be a better person. Perhaps maybe you're putting in different types of actions and reactions into play. I honestly think that, like, if you are in separation, this person is going to be more willing to open themselves up to you in some form of a regard. And potentially even be open to kind of like restarting this, right? Because between Cupid's arrow and Boat, as we keep progressing down how it is that they view you, I think, hey, I can't speak for yourself here, pile number 4, tuning in, but like potentially there is some form of curiosities and openness to rekindle this type of connection, especially due to like these changes here. Now, let's dive on into the Hermit Tarot. What is it that they would say to you? You are wrong popped out with, I will follow you if I follow you, could I lose everything? Okay, so interesting that this kind of came out as a pair. I believe that this is the answer to this. Like, you're wrong if you think that if you follow me, you would lose everything. Matter of fact, you just might in fact gain more. Interesting perspective here, right? Also, I think that this person may very well fear you telling them that they're wrong about how it is that they're viewing your overall change. It could also mean, furthermore, that you are wrong. It's coming out in a multitude of different ways here for me, soul fam. It's like I think rejection in one form or another, like they don't want to be wrong about you, and you may even have a false perception of them as well, right? Because there definitely seems to be a lot of trust issues in play between y'all, whether this is on a personal level or like an interconnected level, but like either way, mistrust is kind of high with y'all, pile number 4. So let me know if and how this is resonating with you. And of course, I'm delivering all of this with the intent of there being love, love, love. I think we should see other people. Yeah, so there is this level of disconnection and like mistrust and more casualness, right? I left because you told me so. Again, your words may have cut this person out. It's like y'all pushed each other away or something. I'm genuinely feeling that none of y'all are in a relationship, and if you are, it's not as deep as it potentially has the capability to be, and I mean that with love and respect, trust me. But like, for the most of y'all, there is a deep separation, and it's just like if one person said, oh, I don't really want to be with you right now, maybe later, and you were like, okay, whatever, and then like you actually left, but this person always kind of had this impression of you coming back or something like that, I just heard left hanging. So whether this was intentional or not, both of y'all left each other because in some form or a fashion, there was a agreed upon separation of sorts, even if, again, you didn't fully mean what it is that was said. Seek professional advice had also come out with this chunk of whatever fallout cards. So y'all both, or of course, if this is what they would say to you, right? So like this person that is viewing you in this particular way has likely sought either professional advice from psychiatrists or therapists alike, could potentially be from their family and friends, wondering how it is that they could approach you, if they even should, and or would like to also hear that you yourself have gone through more professional means of transformation as well, right? Because self-help can only go so far, right? Like when it is that you're taking more so of like a hyper independent route to change, you don't allow the full spectrum of transformation to take place because you're still limited, right? Like when you have a guide that can actually call you out on your shit, could really be honest with you, and could then tailor the right types of tactical, practical tools and strategies to help you on your way to actually truly transform, you can be kind of hit, you could be hitting kind of like brick walls here, right? So this is a very interesting reading in general, so fam. What would they say to my pile number 4 if they could? I never imagined so much perfection. And yet right now, how it is that they view you is honestly through the lens of a lot of love and compassion and like very similar, which I'm going to assume is pile number 2. So like maybe if you're open to it, check that pile out as well, because this is the second time I'm bringing it out. They could really view your level of transformation and like willingness to change as something that is really motivational and inspiring and something that's really attractive to them, right? Because perfection is also in the eye of beholder, just as is beauty and anything else, right? And when it comes to you, like even with a lot of the potential levels of like, you know, distrust and disarray and miscommunication that may or may not have occurred between y'all, if you're still here, it definitely has. They still view you as someone whom is a perfect match to them. I just heard ideal. So there's some similarities with that pile in general, I would say. What would they tell you matter? And this comes down to the potential lack of self-worth that may lie either within yourself, soul fam, or within themselves. But they want to say that you do matter, that you are worth retrying this, I'm just hearing. That you are capable of love and companionship in a way that perhaps maybe neither one of you have ever allowed before. The light card also keeps wanting to come out. So again, I mean, I don't want to tell y'all what to do because I definitely don't want to manipulate your energies and things like that. But like if you resonate with pile number 2 or you're willing to check that out, this also came out. They, in a way, kind of want to light up your life. They want to show you that you matter, that you're wrong about yourself and how things had played out in the past, because now they're different. Something's changed. It's like you guys have crossed rivers. Like this boat card here is kind of reminding me of like the 6 of Swords, where you move from one form of thinking into a completely new way of being. It's a complete like mental transformation. And it's like this person kind of wants to like light the way for you, if you will, you know, and like keep it light as well. Like I'm just hearing, why does it have to be hard? Like relationships don't actually have to be hard. Just like work doesn't have to be hard. Like I, for one, am definitely the type that is changing their perspective on like the work hard, play hard mentality. Like we as a society have been taught that everything has to be difficult in order to be worth it. But like that honestly is the furthest thing from the truth. Like why not work joyfully? Why not play joyfully? Why not allow your day-to-day experiences and connections be easier? Why does it have to be so fucking hard? You know? And I think that's kind of what this person wants to show you as well, where it's like, hey, like this can be easier. I am hearing baby. So this person may call you baby, or that just might be like a pet name. You may even have a child with this person too in some regards. They may want to have a baby with you, but I'm sensing this more so as like a level of endearment. And I think, so yes, came out as a little confirmation of that as well. So potentially this person may call you baby, or you, I don't know. Let me know how that resonates below. What would they say to my pal number 4 if they could? I'm too afraid to talk. And yet your ability to cut people out, to keep things short, perhaps maybe the level of rejection that has already been endured in this connection before, is really stopping this person from stepping forward. I also heard balls in your court. So it could very well be pile number 4 that they're waiting on you to make that move, for you to open up the door. I also heard I knocked. So whomever it is that you're channeling messages through today, it could very well be that they have already kind of like left the light on for you, if you will, have kind of like gave you some form of sign or signal that they're open to a form of communication from you. I just kind of like deeply swallowed there too. So like it's still something that they're nervous of, but they're more willing to have with you if, of course, you would be open to it, but they wouldn't pressure you to it. They're not just going to like show up and pop into your DMs or like at your front door like my dog had, you know what I mean? And be like, oh, I love you and I want to be with you and like da-da-da-da, because again, they know who it is that you were before, and they're also unsure if you're even fully ready, because from their perspective right now and how it is that they view you, you're only starting, dare I say, at least again from their perspective of changing and being more open to things, right? And again, going back to not enough in seduction, there just may be some sense of like closure that they're feeling from you still too, right? And like we can energetically sense a lot of these blockages. So yeah, I wonder how that goes. I lie awake thinking about our future, as well as you are so very special comes out here as well. So they have a deep admiration towards you, okay? I think that this person really, truly, secretly thinks about how y'all can come together again, how you can really make it right. They honestly, again, like they think that you're spectacular, like you matter. I'm not really sensing or seeing any love things just yet, if at all, because again, maybe you guys are both very more so like practical and like logical minded, okay? Especially because there was a lot of like swords and like grounded energy. So like you could be an air sign and or a earth sign. So that is, earth signs are Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Air signs are Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So your top 3 may be a mixture of these and or theirs are, right? So you kind of take more so of like a practical, logical approach, but that doesn't change their overall perception of you. And that is that they are really heightening their level of appreciation towards you. And I'm hearing, I see you. So that could literally mean that they're stalking you in one form or fashion, or that they see your soul. They see who you truly are behind the mask, which is a level of vulnerability that this person sees that you're currently uncomfortable with. And yet the potential is still there. What would they say to my pile number 4 if only they could? What would they say to my pile number 4 if only they could? This card really wants to make itself known. I imagine you naked. Okay, all right. Well, I will mention right now that in the extended, which is already linked down below in the description as well as the comments section, there's another pick a card where I get into a little bit more of like an R-rated 18 plus style reading. That of course is closed off to the Patreon community. If you join, you will also have accessibility to any and all other extendeds that have been posted across my channels, as well as, of course, additional content to help you on your way. So if you'd be interested, you're definitely invited to join the VIP Soul Fam. But yep, this is pretty self-explanatory, okay? They definitely, when it comes to like your body and like your confidence right now, it's highly attracting this person. Like this person's into you. Like, what the heck can I say? I'm hearing change me. So let's try another deck. I'm also getting pulled to my personal oracle deck as opposed to any other. So let's see what's in store for you. What would this person say to you? It's hard for me to let people in. And this is where y'all find some commonalities between you, okay? Perhaps maybe the both of you have incurred too much struggle and distrust and pain in past life relationships and things like that that make it difficult for y'all to want to, in fact, be vulnerable and find intimacy. Right? Because sex is not intimacy, at least not in a way that has been taught, right? It is, in fact, a very spiritual exchange of energy, regardless if you're spiritual or not. Obviously, if you're tuning in, you are to some form of an extent, but nevertheless, it's intimacy that is quite terrifying, I'm sensing. And yet we're a team comes out here too. I just heard us against the world. So this person really wants y'all to be comfortable. I just heard you and me, baby. I don't know. What would they say to my pal number 4 if only they could? If they could. What would they say to my pal number 4? I'm hearing flip out, so I'm going to keep shuffling until something pops out. Something's over here, isn't there? The submissive. Okay, this person honestly in some ways is willing to, not necessarily, I'm sensing here with y'all that either one of you have a really high guard up. Okay, and they're willing to submit and open up to you should ever the opportunity arise. I do sense that the submissive is kind of like a compromise, again, because it's like where team comes in here, right? Where they're going to be more willing to open up to you. I'm hearing, I've seen your transformation. And, you know, there is this yearning that I'm sensing that's also blocked, that's being really resisted from this person and or you. And I'm hearing mirrors. So this is like looking through the looking glass, if you will. Y'all are really, yup. You're projecting this within each other. And I think that when it comes to like the knees weak in your arms type of a love, you both want that. I think that no matter how much it is that we may run away from love, soul fam, we want love. We do. We want true companionship. And yet the level of mistrust due to past experiences, whether they were through family or other relationships, or even this connection in general, it caused a lot of mistrust. And yet in a perfect world, I think y'all would both really lovingly fall into each other's arms and really enjoy it in the process. I put down all decks. I did hear my snaps, which is my signifier, soul fam, that we have concluded this reading. Yikes, it was a little bit deeper than I expected it to be. Do let me know, soul fam, if you resonated with pile number 4. I genuinely hope that my delivery served its purpose and it was kind. and still quite thorough and honest, because my intention is always, of course, to help people on their path to true healing and clarity and soulful evolution. So that being said, if you're open to leave me a comment down below and give me some feedback or some personal resonances on this, I would absolutely be open to it. I love hearing from y'all. Otherwise, please remember to hit subscribe. There is a full playlist of different types of spiritual check-ins and an amplified amount of different pick a cards that are going to continuously be coming out. So I hope you stick around, enjoy a soul fam. If not, that's cool. Hopefully I'll see you either in another pile or another reading, or if this is where we part, again, I'm just grateful for your presence nonetheless. So thank you so much, pile number 4. Much love and peace to you. Bye.